Womp womp. Welcome to the Toilet Bowl. Our first game of the day is probably the highest stake game of the day because the winner gets the number 1 overall pick. And boy, do both these teams desperately need it right now.
I don't know about desperately need. You look at the side of Teal. I mean, you had LJ Mooney on your roster. You had Logan Cooley on your roster. You got a total of 3 total games out of the 2 of them. Not much you could really do. They had their chances. They had some overtime wins. Pretty cool, I guess. But for Team White, they were in the playoffs last year. And their captain, or I should say assistant captain, Brandon Sabota, is back today, but he's only played 1 game this season as well. So just missing star power, some unlucky breaks, and unfortunately you end up in the bowl that is the toilets.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at this league. Kind of have to have a balance of drafting good players, but also players that are going to show up consistently. And if you look at both of these teams, neither of them are going to be able to run a full 2 lines, which is probably where their issues came this year. In fact, I think both will have 2 members on the bench only all game.
Yeah, it's not very appealing, I guess, to some of the team members to probably come for a game that is seemingly somewhat pointless, but other chances, you can get the number 1 pick. You just don't know who's going to play next year. I mean, this year the number 1 pick was Braxton Whitehead. He's been a remarkable person for Teal, probably one of the main reasons why they were even in contention to playoffs till last week. And the number 2 pick was Quinn McKenzie, who's also done fairly well as well, and is going to be a really good player going forward, but you just never know what's coming up next, right? And having that number 1 pick is so beneficial because that could be all it takes to turn it around.
What's interesting for Teal, they actually got traded the number 1 overall pick last year.
Yes.
Only to earn it again this year, so
possibly. Possibly. Don't get too ahead of yourself here. It's a possibility.
Speaking of possibilities, we're about to kick it off. Face-off won by White, taken backwards by the aforementioned Sabota. He's going to back it up all the way behind his net. Throws it forward for Huston. Huston around the edge, he takes it back, and a shot's going to go wide, tipped away by the goaltender. Teal will try to rally it, but they lose it right out in front. Poke checked away, Sabota picks it back up. They're playing 3-on-3.
Interesting. Also, the clock hasn't started yet. So that's why on our end we haven't started ours, because we're waiting for them to get going as well.
Maybe they saw these short benches and said, change it up a little bit. And right down the other side of the ice, leading for Teal. Wide open net for Kuzma, but he shoots it just wide. And White's going to cut it back the other direction. Sabota with it. Jukes out 1 man, tips it forward, aims for the 5-hole, can't get it through, and Teal's going to pick it up once again. Reversing it forward. With a couple moves and a feigned shot, he's going to go to the bench after that one. White's on the roll once more. Second line steps out as Teal's going to grab it. Dane Ramirez throws it back. Back forward to Ramirez. Goes for the pass and it gets intercepted. Rushing ahead is Ripstein. He passed out in front. It's going to be saved. And the puck will be frozen.
Yeah, nice job from Stern just to put that one on net as we get a late addition to Teal's roster. Nick Cyprin will make his way. Also, I'm just going to make a side note here on air as well. 12, we don't know who it is yet for Teal. So just to mark that down as of right now. Something we'll try to figure out as we go along here, but that's just the one thing. Commentators' communication here.
And we're back on 4v4 with 21 minutes to go. Puck gets lost along the boards, but scooped right back up. Pass across. And White's going to take it back. Entering the zone, cutting the circle, goes for a backhand off the side of the net, keeps it with them. Wide open man across, but he's going to get tipped away by Teal. It's a foot race back to the puck. White wins it in their own zone. Tip pass ahead. Hard shot by O'Donnell is going to get tipped away. And Teal's cutting it the other direction. Throws it behind the net, stopped by the goaltender, Volsky. Grabbed by White. Thrown across to Hudson. Battles for it, kept in the zone, and ends up with his man. Couple of quick shots, and the shot's going to go behind the ram. Cycling around the outside edge, he's going to leave it back for Hudson. To the other point. Out in front, a tip attempt doesn't go. White's going to keep it in, though, as they do a bit of a mini change. Try to get Sabota on as he enters the ice, but it's going to be intercepted by Teal, because they'll change a little bit and take their time. Pass is going to go backwards, cycling around it. Kuzma is going to give it up behind the net. Goes back to him. Keeping it behind the net. Trap working well for White so far. Back to Kuzma. Kuzma's going to pass it across. Another tip attempt. The rebound's going to be grabbed by White as they exit the zone. And blatant offsides there. They're going to blow the whistle. 19 minutes to go, still drawn at 0.
A little cheeky move there from Sabota at the blue line, just trying to maybe catch the ref. Lacken, get in there on a breakaway, and that's one player, if he has some speed to his game and let him get loose, he's going to make you pay. He's going to Boston University this year, Evan. San Jose Sharks draft pick, 2-time USHL champion. Recently just came off a USA trip for Team USA over in Europe. One hell of a player he is.
And just recently tipped the puck away from a Teal defender. Ended up with the shot getting poke-checked away into the sky.
It's one thing to remember, Evan, last week, that White and Green ended in a shootout. If White wins that game, they're in the playoffs. It's a completely different script with one luck of the puck in the back of the net.
Even Teal, it's not like they were super far behind.
No.
Now, granted, you can't really go that far behind in a 6-game schedule.
No, everyone's gonna be still alive come week 6. I mean, just like we said, a couple bounces had to go their way, and they were definitely in the playoffs.
Right now, they're running with their shorthanded team as they have been for most of the year. As a quick shot attempt's going to be frozen by Fry.
And a big reason as well is why their work in contention was Carson Fry. Him and Kyle McLaughlin split a season series, and Fry's went 2-1 with a 6.33. And that's, if we're going to go among ranked goaltenders, that's the best in terms of goals against this season.
Yeah, I think if they had their full roster along with Carson Fry, they could be an unstoppable force.
And that's nothing against McLaughlin either. He's a really good goaltender, but those games, they got absolutely shelled in offensively.
Teal, speaking of offensively, they tried to enter, but Sabota once again picks it away. Rush attempt. Mahler's pass across, back to Sabota. He can't corral it once more. Try to keep it in the zone, but he gets raced out back to the center ice. Keeping it himself as he enters. Sabota trying to make it a one-man show. Circles again. Can't exit the zone. He throws it across to Hudson. Hudson back to Sabota. And that time he loses it, but he's going to keep battling. White keeps it in. Hudson tries to get it back to Sabota. He fights for it in the corner. Going forward, Teal's going to have a chance now. Exiting and crossing. Circling behind the net. Trying to find an open man. White's playing some great strong defense as he gets a weak shot off and it's going to be tipped on the pads away. White regains possession. Sabota comes back on the ice already. Quick break for him.
Only 2 guys on the bench. You got to make it quick.
As that quick shot into the corner does nothing. Hudson with it once more. Pass across is going to result in a shot that goes wide. Cycling back, handing it off to Ribstein. Ribstein back to Hudson. Hudson loses it behind the net to get picked up by Stern. He'll lose it to Teal and draw a tripping penalty.
Yeah, that was just a blatant trip right there on Tyler Stern. He wants to argue it. He's not going to get anywhere with it, but Boyson feels the contact. Down you go. Teal's power play going to work. 2 power play goals this season. Both of those players who've scored those goals respectively, not on the ice nor in the arena. So we'll see what Teal does here with Blair, Ramirez, Boyson, and looks like it'll be Jack Edwards.
Certainly not an opportunity they can give up, especially if they want that first overall pick, with White seemingly being in control for this game, as they are right now. And they score short-handed. Connor Ribstein takes advantage of a beautiful diving pass and makes the score 1-0.
The interesting thing about the
or 99-0 if you look at the scoreboard.
Well, it could be 99-0, but also of what I was getting at, the interesting point, you score short-handed, your guy comes out of the box. So Stern's set free. And now White is back to even strength. And they get the goal on the board.
I didn't even know that was a rule.
It's never happened before, I'm pretty sure. So There we go. First time for everything, right? At least this season.
And so far in this game, it just proves that White has been in control, which is interesting because they're the team with the short bench.
Exactly. 6 players. I mean, normal hockey, you only have 1 sub in that scenario.
And somehow they've looked better since going back to 4-on-4 than they did with the 3-on-3. There's another quick shot attempt, that time corralled by Fry.
White, like, they've just been all offense for them. You've barely seen Teal in the offensive zone. Like you said, almost doubling their bench. They are doubling the bench, I could say, in terms of bodies. But like we said, this is probably the more of the likely teams that could have made the playoffs over Teal. So they are fighting for the #1 pick to get even better.
Teal on a quick rush. There's a great shot attempt going wide. And it's going to result almost in a 2-on-1 for White, but it will be nabbed by Boyson. With speed around the edge, he takes a quick shot. Glove save. Kept in by Teal. Pass across, tries to get it in. Wants some more to rib. Brain fart, wants to try to get to Boyson, but White's going to end up with it. And that pass is going to go wide. And Teal will have to make it the whole way across the ice. Quick pass to center. To the near side. Weak shot attempt, going to get kicked away. Kept in the Teal zone. Held at the point by Boyson. Tipped in front and frozen by the goaltender.
That might be the one way you're going to beat Volsky in this game. Perfect draw up, Cyprin in front of net. Shot from the point from Boyson, who's pretty accurate with his attempts. And almost getting Volsky up high. Volsky, another big reason he's seen a lot of shots come his way this season.
And now, 10 minutes into this game, it looks like we're going to have another low scorer.
Oh, that's hopefully the commentator's jinx makes its way into that one.
Was the intention.
I hope.
But when it's the intention, it doesn't actually work.
No,
right?
probably not.
Anyways, Teal back on the rush. Blyer takes a shot and whiffs on the rebound. White's going to grab it behind the net. Huston throws it forward for Svoboda. He stays onside, but doesn't get the puck. Goes back to Teal with that mystery number 12.
Yeah, still no idea. But we'll figure it out.
If I say Pendo, whoops.
Not Pendo. I can guarantee you that much.
Oh, it's not Pendo. I've
No,
heard of that guy.
no.
One-time shot saved by Fry, and he'll freeze it with 12:18 to go.
The next game we have coming up, though, I know how exciting the toilet bowl is for everyone watching, but it's black and red. A rematch of last year's semi. Christian Humphreys' crew versus Shax Morehouse's crew. Spot in the champion. It's going to be interesting.
And the final game of the day, green versus
Purple.
Yeah, that's the game that I'm most excited for. There's two rosters.
That's going to be a thriller, but also got word that Zach Ferris is not here for green, so it'll be a substitute goaltender. And the same goaltender that gave 16 goals to Purple last time.
Well,
it's an interesting development.
Maybe Ferris is scared of them.
No, I think he's just stuck in his null camp. That's completely different. It's tough. I mean, we have colleges coming back in 2 weeks. So we're going to have, obviously, 4 teams. This will be their last game, including the 2 on the ice. A lot of these guys are going to start making their way up. You got to go to juniors, got to go to college. You're probably leaving the next week or so.
Into the zone by White. Teal's going to pick it off. 3-on-3. Heading forward. Loses it for a second. Across the FedEx logo and to center ice. A quick shot's going to be knocked away by the glove. Back to the cycle is going to get missed. And Svoboda looks like he's going to win the footrest. Grabbed by Fry, though. They'll throw it across. And a quick rush attempt is going to go nowhere. And now it's White's turn to come back from behind the net. Grabbed by Edwards. Oops, wrong team. Huston. Huston's going to keep it for a second as he throws it to the point. Barely keeps it in. Running around by Stern. Quick pass in front. Fry's going to save on the one-timer. And we get a whistle for something.
Yeah, net coming off. It looks like right when O'Donnell was parked in front, had the one-timer attempt, knocked off the attempt, or the net there on his shot attempt. So clock continues to run. We hit about 10 minutes here to go. Face-off will stay inside here for White.
O'Donnell takes it for White. He'll win it momentarily, but Teal's going to get the jump. A speed rush attempt by Kyron. Cyprin. Now another attempt. Backhander, he scores.
Yeah, Ricky Boyson, we talked about him earlier about great shot. Usually doesn't miss from close in. That time makes him pay on a nice little backhander over Volsky's shoulder. tied up at 1.
Yeah, it seemed like every Teal shot so far has been kind of the predictable shot.
Yeah.
Boyson was the first one to change it up, and he caught Volsky. White's going to take the face off. Sabota takes it across, looks to make some moves by himself as he cuts in, leaves it. Quick shot. That hit the side of the net?
No, that's in. That was right under the shoulder. That was
Barely any room, but he snuck it in.
I'm not sure how he did that. We talked about his skill earlier, though. He's going to make you pay, and I think he fooled you. He fooled everyone on the ice for a brief moment, but
Yep,
what a finish by Sabota.
Boston, one of the premier programs in all of college hockey.
It's well-deserved for Mr. 13 and White.
As Teal goes for another pass attempt, it's going to be tipped behind the net, and they're going to call that icing.
I think that's one of the ones we've seen referees just call off. You're close enough to let go get it. I feel like that one maybe. But it's a 2-1 game. If they wanted to stay competitive, then you know what? We call the icings the way they're supposed to be called.
Yep. Face off that time is going to go straight back to Fry. He'll immediately pass it. As once again, Teoban Kuzma struggling a little bit. Battles behind the net, loses it, and Sabota's going to end up with it once more. Rushing. 3-on-1 essentially attempt here. And that pass is going to result in a shot that goes right in front of the pads. And now Teal takes it the other direction. Another backhand attempt. Ends up behind the net for White. And a quick rush, but he can't keep the puck in time for getting, as the Teal defender beats him there. Frozen by Fry and a bit of a painful landing.
Yeah, Maller, who was quote-unquote on the LTIR for the first couple of weeks, just coming back 2 weeks ago, looks to be okay, thankfully, because we do not want to see him go down, of course, in a game that, somewhat meaningless. You got to get back to your junior team. You don't want to go down with a wrist injury, especially right now.
Especially don't want to go back and tell them you got injured in the toilet bowl.
Exactly. They'll say if you won the toilet bowl, maybe a little different.
Teal having a bit of patience before trying to enter the zone. And it's Edwards. Shot saved. Tipped out to the side where White gets the rebound. Slow and steady on their rush attempt. Right out in front, a quick shot's going to be saved, and Fry will put his hand down in order to freeze that puck with 6:50 to go.
Dangerous play. Fry doesn't get out. Ribstein open cage of him in the second of the game. But nice work from Fry. Play a little aggressive, get that puck, get the whistle, reset it again here.
Face-off's going to occur with about 6:30 to go. White wins it. Sabota's at the point. Tries to leave it, ends up grabbing it again off of those two Teal defenders, and that one will leave the ice.
Yeah, Fry's not going to be beat on that again. Sabota caught him once. This time it was all on the post. Make the save. I don't care if it goes out. We're not letting this in the back of the net.
Sabota scored 2 goals in his only other game.
Pretty good goals per game, if you ask me.
Especially with his one today. He's on pace to match it, in theory. Shout out the announcer's jinx.
Yeah, he's not going to score the rest of the game now. Thanks. Thanks, Ev.
Teal gets it off of a steal. Man in front, but he passes it backwards there. Quick shot's going to off the pad. Rebound kept by Teal, but they can't get any shots off before White nabs it once more. 2-on-1, 3-on-1 actually opportunity. And Sabota's going to take it himself. Tries for the long backhand, but it won't make it to the net. And now Teal the other way. Essentially a 1-on-1. They'll slow down and wait for his guys. The corner that pass centered is not going to get onto the stick. Pass across. Forward. Gives it forward. So unsteady until White steals it back. Sabota once again has his man across. He'll pass it, and the shot just takes too long. Fry is going to get the hand on it. Wide open net results in another goal. Bit of a confusing play there, but it ends up with Cal Huston putting it in.
Yeah, good look from Houston. Wide open net. I mean, if you missed that one, break your stick and head off. But Good little cheeky goal right there for Cal Houston. That's only his second of the season. As a defenseman, he's not going to score much, but opportunity to play some offense today, and gets on the board.
Forward rush by Teal. Battling to keep it in. Sabota's going to grab it once again. 2 guys to beat. He'll just spin around and pass it off. Houston's not there. Teal's going to grab it once again. Pass across. Kept on the backhand. Wide open net. And once again with the backhand. Nick Cyprin.
Cyprin's been deadly all season long. He leads the team in goals now at 10.
Volsky thought he had possession of the puck. It was still barely on Cyprin's backhand. Ends up with an easy put-in.
To say Chatham's got a nice little solid player in Cyprin. Only had 5 goals last year. I feel there's a big breakout coming from him, especially the way he's looked in Goat League. He's fast. He's good in front of the net. Good defensively. That's a really good, solid 2-way player.
White on the rush. Sabota makes a couple moves, takes it behind the net. Still with him. Back to Houston. Those two seem to have a rapport. As he goes back to Sabota, his shot's going to get blocked, and it's a 3-on-0 attempt for Teal. They're going to leave it 1-on-1, though. Backhand off the post. The rebound to a wide open net can't get nabbed. And now it's Wright's opportunity with a 3-on-2. Sabota's backhand's going to get lost in the air and held onto by Fry. Just under 3 minutes to go in this first half.
This game's gotten a little bit more interesting here. They're starting to pick up the pace slowly, but they're getting there. And Teal just keeps adding bodies to the bench. They once had 3, now they got 4. I mean, now I thought they had 5 for a moment, unless someone went off the ice for a second. But
started with 3 when it was 3-on-3.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I feel like they're slowly adding some more bodies to the bench, secretly, of course.
As for White, though, they still got only the 2 cycling. As they barely retain possession in their offensive zone, battling in the corner, passes it back, and Teal will end up with it. Rushing past the benches, it's a 2-on-1. Huge shot, and the rebound to a wide open net. It's going to hit the goaltender somehow. And another shot saved. And White escapes. On his own is Mahler. The backhand to the 5-hole makes it 4-2.
Whew. Cheeky little move from Adam Mahler. Got taken down his somewhat previous breakaway attempt. This one, no mistake. Highlight reel goal from Adam Mahler. 4 goals now for him in his shortened 24 season here in GOAT.
Face off won by White. Spinning around back to his own zone is Ripstein. He'll try to pass it and get intercepted in a fast break here for Blyer. But his shot's going to get tipped. Some great defense there. And now having pass forward to Houston. Houston looked like he was going to go towards the center, but takes it behind the net. Still battling, trying to get anything done. Teal's been a lot more aggressive in these last few minutes.
Well, they want that number 1 pick. Go back-to-back years with number 1 selection. That's something to really improve your team on. They
get a 3-on-2 rush pass across. Can't connect on the one-timer. Over to the Burgatory sign where White's going to get possession. Teal taking their time as we cross 35 seconds remaining. Goes behind the white net. On the zone rush. Stein leaves it out in front for Fry. He's going to freeze it momentarily, but gives it out after the music starts playing. 15 seconds to rush for Teal. You can kind of tell both teams are kind of just waiting for this clock to run out.
They just need their breathers. Oh.
And, well, speaking of break your stick, that one time just did. 2 seconds and another shot's going to go behind the net. That will end the first half.
Poor Ricky. Poor Ricky. Wide open net and the stick just shatters. Oh, I can't believe it.
That's kind of been the story for Teal in this game. Not a lot of luck in the offensive zone. Couple of backhand goals, though, but they trail White 4-2. Long time no see. Welcome back for the second half. And during that really long break, we were able to solve a couple mysteries.
Yes, we did.
For Teal, number 12 is Leo Lashin.
Yes. Penn's Elite U16 defender. Wears 86 for them. That's how we matched it. We got the jersey or the helmet numbers, and then we just said, all right, we play Penn's Elite. Yeah, we do. Okay, there we go. Match.
And number 14 on the ice, Brendan Schuley.
Schoolie.
Son
of RMU men's head coach, Schoolie, Derek Schoolie as well. Sister Caitlin Schoolie plays for the RMU women's hockey club.
A lot of bloodline around here, especially for our 2 RMU broadcasters.
Of course, we don't get the call. Caitlin Schoolie's, they're NCA, we're a club. All different. Wish we could, but still, the RMU bloodline.
Teal wins the face-off, and they enter the zone. Pass back, and another fan shot for Teal. The offensive woes continue. Battling behind the net, it gets taken by Cyprin. He'll pass it out to the point where it's going to say Houston. It's Jack Edwards waiting for him. Barely kept in. That was pretty close by Edwards. Goes for another backhand. It'll be saved.
The team's just trying to get the feet wet at this point here for Teal. But they've maintained the possession lead to the start of this period. Down by 2. They've come back from worse. They've sent a couple games to overtime with comebacks. I know there's 22 minutes on the clock, but maybe they got not one more in them.
White throws it around. It goes forward for Sabota. Sabota has a couple men waiting, but he's going to launch a shot himself that goes wide. Teal on the other way. Only a minute off the clock. As another quick shot goes right into the face. I believe that knocked his helmet off.
That dangerous play with Volsky's mask flying off, and it's probably going to take him a minute to get that thing back on, but that was an absolute missile.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he's okay.
That's a sound that you don't hear very often.
The immediate whistle, the immediate stopping of the clock. Nice job by the referees to make sure no pucks were coming towards the bare-masked Volsky.
As we wait for him to get his grips together, the clock will freeze at 21:54.
Yeah, I've seen this enough times where it does usually take a minute, but this one seems like it's good to go. So I figured maybe a couple straps, get back in place, but he looks good to go. Surprisingly, not much damage.
Surprising, but luckily.
Yes, luckily.
Teal's going to win the face-off and try to see just how ready he is. Quick shot, tipped out in front. Saved. Maybe a nice little breather from him coming into this offensive rush. As White's going to get their possession. Sabota's waiting out in front, trying to cherry pick, but nobody gives it to him. Houston takes his shot. It's going to be tipped away. Teal nabs it, and the pass is going to be tipped wide. And the race will be won by Houston. Picked up by Ribstein. He'll give it back to Sabota. Houston had a chance, but he hit the post. Still White possession in their offensive zone. Houston forward tips it. Sabota cross. Circling now back to the point. Slow and steady cycle. Sabota spins it himself. Looking for a rush he can take. To the face-off circle, that tip is going to go very high in the air and land right back on Sabota's stick.
It's like it's glued to him, Evan. You can't get it off him.
He's got the magnet power up.
Cheat code.
As they keep it in off of the battle in the corner, and Sabota magnetizes the puck back to himself and lets it go right into the net on that one-time tip.
Remember how we said earlier the commentators jinx about him averaging 2 goals per game because he played one game and scored 2 goals? Okay, he's played one more game and he scored 2 goals. Reverse jinx, we did it. He scored his 2.
But with the way that he's been leading this offense, I don't think that's going to be his last one.
Okay, Evan, we're pushing this a little too far now, aren't we?
I didn't even think of that time. But now that you've said it.
No jinxing.
Now I can pin it on you.
No jinxing.
Wait, speaking of which, very blatant offside. Thought for a second they were going to give it to him.
Yeah, you think maybe they'd cut him with some, 3-goal lead. Let him chip away at it. I don't care if he's 20 feet offside. Let the boys play.
You don't always have to clean the toilet bowl.
No. Can be a little messy at times with offsides and goalie mask flying off.
Teal's going to get chased all the way back into their zone. Pass it up about halfway. That's going to get missed, and Sabota's got an opportunity with 3 men with him. His shot almost a wide open rebound, but snapped away by a Teal defender. And Houston's going to fight. That's going to be a trip, and they do call it.
Yeah, Houston for tripping.
That one not as intentional as the first
No,
one we
that
saw,
definitely
but
wasn't. That was, I think, more just incidental contact. But once again, same rules apply as the first one. Teal scored power play goals. Neither guy is here. White has a shorty in this game. Same call, different player. Let's do this again.
this time Teal's going to win the faceoff. Definitely going to be a lot safer, not let White get any more of those rushes that open the scoring in this game. Spinning around. He takes a one-time shot that ends up at the boards. And Teal spins it back. Cross center ice. And he gets, that wasn't tripping. I think that was a bit of embellishment.
Yeah, just a little contact and go right down.
And a bit delayed.
Yes.
But now he's got a shot to take a one-timer, and he'll tackle the goalie.
Hey, poor Volsky. That was just another just incidental. Ramirez wants to crash, get on the back door, lose your footing, and Volsky goes down.
You could tell how hard he was trying to avoid that
Yeah.
based on how slow that was.
If you're Odin of the NCDC and you're watching this game, you're like, okay, can we get him out of the net now? Like, this has been 2 plays in the last 3 minutes where Volsky's almost gotten hurt.
Bring back the other goalie's cardboard cutout.
Well, well, here's the thing about Shooter Tutor, Evan. He's still on IR. As far as we know, he's still hurt.
Poor
So,
guy.
Shooter Tutor, he had a good run. He had his what's his name? His David Ayers moment. But I hope Shooter Tutor's okay. Couple more Penn's Elite practice, he'll be okay.
Attempted one time in front. Volsky standing his ground. If a goalie falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, did he really fall?
It's a good question. One of the many things we don't know.
12 minutes left on this power play. Sorry, 12 seconds. Jeez.
Whoa.
That'd be one long power play.
I don't even think an injection gets you 12 minutes of a power play.
Whoop. I can't think of anything in the world that could result in a 12-minute.
Nope, I don't think so either.
Unless, like, everybody on your team but 4 gets a game misconduct with 12 minutes to go.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. That works.
I can see that happening in, like, Penguins Islanders circa 2011.
One of my favorite moments as a kid was trying to stay up to watch that game.
I still go back and watch the highlight reel once a year. The power play is over, but Teal still got the advantage until I said that when Sabota picks it off. Rowan ahead. Mahler gives it back to Sabota. Tips it back as he waits in the corner. Houston gives it back to Sabota. Pass across to his man, can't connect. Barely kept in the zone as it gets stolen away by Stern. Stern tries to throw it across, but it will end up back with Dane Ramirez. Ramirez is going to take a bit of time as Houston intercepts his pass attempt. Rallying himself with it. It's going forward, it's going to be knocked away. Rebound opportunity, gets spun around to the Kent State logo. Another try to pass in front of the net. Just going to keep circling it. Houston quarterbacking this offense so far in this game. Into the corner. Back to Houston, he'll keep it in. Tries to make something happen once more, but Teal's going to take it. And they will exit the zone. And it'll go all the way down to their goaltender for icing. Or not.
Waved off last second.
Had the whistle in his mouth and everything. Now that was an announcer's jinx.
Yes, you felt at some point they're going to blow off something like that, or you're just close enough.
And a quick shot opportunity. That time they can't keep it in.
It's like when you're playing college football, Evan. You just hear the announcer go tick, 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 tick. Clock starts to chew its way down. That's White's done. They've probably kept about 2.5 minutes at this point.
With a 3-goal lead, a game with the momentum looking how it is. Probably the best option to just keep the game boring, but a quick rush attempt would have been very not boring if he scored that one. Teal taking it the other direction. Ends up circling behind the net. He has no one to pass it to. Goes the other direction. Spins it once more and across. No shot attempted. They go back the other way. There's the one-timer off the pads, and thought it was going to be frozen, but they tip it out.
Good look there for Kuzma. Even better save by Volsky to stretch that pad.
White back on the offensive zone. A one-time opportunity gets missed. Leaves it back. Throws it across. There's the one-timer and saved once more. They're playing the NHL video game strategy, both teams this half.
Feels like a video game at this point, isn't it? But with chew clock on, but the clock in real life doesn't chew.
Behind the net. Pass to the point. Throwing it forward and behind. Oh, looked like he went for a Michigan there. Was unsuccessful, but throws another backhander. Once again, going nowhere. The puck's still open. And the backhand pass will finally give it back to Teal. Usually you can tell when Michigan's coming. That was the most out of nowhere one.
He took it behind the net, and then just right as he hit the post, lift, boom, right on net.
Teal just couldn't get it past the defender's legs. Another rush for White. Right out in front, he'll pass it backwards. That shot's going to get tipped away. Might have had a better opportunity had he just kept it himself one-on-one with the goaltender. As Sabota gets the puck stolen from him for a change of pace by Cypher, and his pass across. Backhander laying down the goal. That was just pure luck by Nikolai Volsky to have that puck end up right between his legs.
I'm not sure how Volsky, he just laid down, had it underneath his pad, and then just whoop, cover.
I think he just gave up and Teal just couldn't do anything.
What's something that you and Volsky have in common here, Evan? You're both born in Russia.
Just outing me to the public.
But you're legal.
Starfiche,
legal.
como se está?
What?
Don't ask. There's a backhander that goes in. Believe that going to be credited to Sabota?
That'll be Sabota's. Backdoor, backhand, under the pad, and Sabota got a hattie.
Makes it 6-2. 12:45 left. Teal's going to have to make this lead go within one if they even want the chance to enter stoppage time.
You still wonder what happens if Sabota even comes to 2 more games. But once again, represent your country. Go to a Sharks development camp. I think there's some other important things that were going on.
What, you're telling me the GOAT League isn't the most important thing in hockey?
If you want to win a gold medal for the United States, one of 2 things, Cranberry Cup or gold medal. Your pick.
I might be a bit biased, but I like cranberries. Frozen by Fry.
Man, I don't know how O'Donnell didn't bury it. Fry was a little bit out of position, gets across, and O'Donnell just kind of put it right into him. That was just a real. We've seen one lucky save from Volsky, now we see one from Fry.
Teal's going to end up winning the draw. Nabbed by White and picked off by Teal. Speeding ahead is Cyprin. Puts it behind him and spins away from a man. Loses himself trying to pass it forward, but White's going to grab it, and they've essentially got a 3-on-1, we'll call it. Tic-tac-toe, and no scoring until that second pass out in front, where Cal Houston gets his second.
Beautiful tic-tac-toe. Didn't get the first one. Second one right there. Houston gets his second and has already doubled his goal total on the entire season with his 2 tonight.
If at first you don't succeed, chip away.
Eventually, you have a wide open net to shoot at, and that's exactly what Cal Houston had there.
Makes it 7-7 with exactly 11-11 left in this game.
Oh, not 7-7, 7-2.
I
know you want your numbers game.
I was waiting for the 11-11, and I just didn't process the other numbers.
7-7, 11-11. 2 goals by number 4 things are 4-4.
You know, in Russian, 7 and 2 are basically the same thing.
I did not know that.
Neither did I.
I'm just making up as we go, huh?
Hey, it's not mean when I literally am one.
It's true. It's true.
And Teal's got an opportunity, 2-on-0. Couple of quick passes and a great shot. It's going to be off the top of the stick and out of play.
What a pass. Ramirez and Blair back and forth. I'm not sure if Volsky, I think he got a piece of it. If not, that was a really bad miss by Ramirez.
Seemed like it hit the very top of the stick.
That's what I was thinking. But, so close that at least getting something on the board here for Teal.
At the point. And there's intercepted by Sabota. He's on his own. 1-on-1. Tips the forward and backhand and can't get it past the pads of Fry. And you got to think he's going to be angry after that one. Now Teal's opportunity, the one-timer, they score. Leo Lashin getting his name called for the first time this half.
Welcome to the GOAT League, son. There you go. Your first career goal. Didn't even know we were playing until about 20 minutes ago. But congratulations, first career goal. Hopefully we'll see him back in GOAT next year as a full-time player.
Makes the deficit 4 with 9:30 to make it up.
It's only a 4-goal deficit. A little bit under 10 to go. It's not in the most crazy things that have happened in this league.
And Sabota, listed as a forward, he's kind of playing the defensive role these last couple of shifts out here.
Plays a two-way, so I'd say really good in defensive zone as well.
Teal's trying to take advantage of the momentum, keeping it in their zone, but they will lose it behind the net. Sabota rushes ahead, spins around the net, grabbed by White. Sabota's going to keep it in the corner. Tries to pass it across. Houston's going to end up with it. Another tip in front. Oh, it's put in by Sean O'Donnell.
Captain, backdoor. That's his 11th of the season. He's been pretty much a goal per game at this point. Well, I mean, in terms of him scoring in every game, actually. Of course, I know that's over a point or a goal per game, but still, remarkable stuff from the captain. He's done a good job with this team. I think they're a very well-structured team. They're going to be a team, of course, full roster next year. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they're the only team to quote-unquote beat purple. I know Teal did last week, but that was not necessarily them trying their absolute hardest.
Teal's on their rush behind the net. It's interesting when you see these teams, the battle between being built well and having those stars, because we've seen with Sabota, that star can kind of change the dynamic of the ice.
Really has been. 3 goals. Of course, it's a 5-3. It's an entirely different hockey game.
There's a quick shot that's going to double doink and end up staying in the offensive zone.
Is that Cody Parkey I hear in the background?
Did that in the video game. It was pretty humbling. Luckily, it went in, though. Deal one-on-one. Shot through the 5-hole and scores. Oops. Ben Kuzma struggling a little bit in the offensive zone, but takes advantage of that breakaway.
Kuzma, really good goal scorer. Had 14 last year. Has 6 this year, so not as close to on par, but nice little breakaway attempt. It's a 4-goal game. It's Teal slowly making their way back into this.
Yep, they got 4 minutes to cut the deficit by 1 more if they want the clock to start freezing for them. But it will not happen if they lose the puck to White like they just have. Quick enter and going back behind the net. Honestly, looked like he was trying to go for Michigan there, but the man behind him just steals it. And Teal's on a rush. A quick one-time shot, and he gets that deficit down to 3. Once again, Ben Kuzma not going to take that disrespect lightly.
Man, that was an absolute, had some heat on it. You saw Edwards kind of set the screen to the blue line and then just said to Ben, just take it. Just take it up, and what a shot. And gets Volsky up high. It's a 3-goal game.
Pass in front. White entering the zone. They've got a quick shot opportunity. Fry has it somewhere and freezes it. Clock's going to pass 6 minutes.
I think we've talked about it enough times in the broadcast, but 2 of White's star players, Tyler Stern and Cal Houston, look really good together on the ice. And a big reason why is they play for the same juniors team in the Maryland Black Bears in the NHL. I don't feel like we've said that. We've said it off air to each other, but I don't think we've ever said it on the broadcast.
Teal's got another opportunity rushing forward. Pass to the center of the ice does not connect. And Teal's going to go back the other direction. Teal on the zone entry. Spinning around, kind of wait for his other man to get into the zone. A quick shot's going to go wide. Snapped up. And loses it. But goes right around Sabota to get it back. All the effort is the backhand's going to be frozen. Oh, not frozen. They keep fooling me and the music guy.
Yeah, at least it's not just us.
Sabota, beautiful shot. That was wicked. 9-5 in favor of White.
Whew, what a shot by Sabota. Little toe drag, put that one under the bar, in and out, quick and easy. 4-goal lead there.
Looks like that teleported into the net.
Just magic anytime the puck is on his stick. Remember, this is probably his last game, quote-unquote game opportunity until he gets up to Boston, where he's going to, as a freshman, compete for ice time, compete for a role, maybe in their top 6 or something. So this is kind of big for him.
Teal the other direction. Has an open net, but no one can get it. Sabota's going to race it down. 3-on-1. Sabota's pass. Shot tipped away by the glove hand. And now Sabota behind the FedEx logo. He's going to do another quick pass in front. The tip's going to go wide. Cycling once more. Houston ends up with it behind the net, tries to backhand it over to Sabota, and it will exit the zone. Teal's going to take a line change and end up with an offensive zone rush. Barely keeps it on side, and the pass is not going to get completed. White's got another opportunity. Houston and Sabota, the two workhorses. Gives it back to O'Donnell. His shot's going to go just wide. 3:25 left in this game. And Teal's got another rush opportunity. "13 seconds to work with if they want this game to be the rulebook consideration of close."
Yes. Get that clock stopped too as well if you try to get 2 on the board here.
And they get it. I'm not quite sure what just happened, but they get it.
It looks like Lation was the last to touch it there, Evan. I know he was parked in front. Boyson took the shot. Andrew says that it hit off his stomach and into the net here. Obviously, he's on the camera. He knows a little bit of a closer look than we did. That was just absolute puck luck. Great shot from Boyson. Good screen by Lation. And that's the second of the game. It's back of the net. And that addition of him in the lineup has now benefited with 2 goals.
And I think my thoughts might have jinxed that one, because I was not expecting us to get to that scoring point. And Teal's got another opportunity now. 2-on-1. No pass. It's just going to be a weak shot to the chest. Teal leaves that out in front. Oh, ends up with the goaltender. I thought it was still behind the net. White's going to do a quick dump for Sabota. Post is going to wait for O'Donnell, but can't keep the puck enough. White goes out behind Sabota once more.
You wonder if one more offensive rush out comes Fry.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about the goalie bowling. Took me a second to qualify that. Out in front, tip behind the goaltender, and frozen.
I don't know here. If I was on the bench of Teal, I think this is maybe where you take Fry out of the net. I know it's 3 goals. There's 2 minutes on the clock. I just feel if you want any chance of winning this game, you got to take Fry out of the net.
We've seen it earlier.
Way earlier.
That shot's going to be wide in front. Can't get that backhand with no goalie waiting around him. And this time right out in front. Saved. We're out of play.
And we're stopped at 151. Once again, I'll repeat it. I feel Fry out of the net. Unless they want one more. I could see that too before you take him out of the net. But at this point, what do you have to lose?
Yeah. Besides the number 1 overall pick, obviously.
Right. And, of course, you win to get the number 1, not lose. Because otherwise, I could see why Teal's keeping him in the net.
White has the possession until Teal intercepts it this once more. Couldn't get it back into their offensive zone. And once again, stolen at center ice.
Here goes Fry.
Violation. Fry is off the ice. Slow and steady, actually. So they have the man advantage on the empty net. 1:20 left in the game. Waiting behind. Passed out in front to the side. It's going to go wide. Possession is held, though. In front. Tries to pass it across. Gets tipped. Sabota causes some disruption there. And it'll stay in the offensive zone. Pass across. Couldn't get it on his stick with a great opportunity. Pass behind, and now White's going to gain possession. Take their time, gives it to Sabota. Sabota enters the offensive zone slowly, tips it across, and that goal will likely be the dagger. Clock stops with 46.4 to go, as the score bumps up to 10-6.
Yeah, Sabota, that was a smart play. I think just kill the clock, take it up as slow as you can. They're not going to pressure you. Sit back and wait. Mallard was wide open. Empty cage. His second of the game.
Fry returns to the net, as both of these teams are just going to enjoy their last 40 seconds on the GOAT ice this year.
It's a tough season for Teal. Of course, next season, hopefully, they'll have more of a stable lineup. As for White, they'll get the #1 overall selection. It's a mystery who it will be, but I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next year.
Yeah, they've been a team that has, on paper, been very good. Not a lack of inconsistency, just a slight outplaying by some other teams.
And they beat Purple. I think that's a big thing to talk about. They're the only team that'll beat a full Purple squad.
As a couple quick shot attempts. And with 4 seconds to go, Teal's going to go on one last rush. And our first game of the day, the toilet bowl, is complete. White takes it 10-6 and largely controlled the pace of play throughout the game, especially in that first half. Teal got themselves back in close very near the end, but too little too late.
Yeah, they at least made it competitive. I think that's what everyone at least wanted to see. As long as you just made it somewhat competitive. And they did that. I think a lot of credit to Leo Lation for coming in as a substitute, scoring 2 goals as well. Nice work out of him. And as for White, the addition of Sabota back for this last game is huge to get the #1 overall selection. Him and Sean O'Donnell, the 2 captains, have some work to do in the offseason. They control the recruiting process as well now. So whoever they have their eye on and they want to come to the GOAT League, it's their pick. They can do whatever they want with it. They could even have a Zemgus Girgensons if they... No, that's not probably not going to happen. But still, it's anybody. Anybody you can bring. You get them on your team.
We got 2 more games today. We're starting the playoffs when we come back to you in just about 20 minutes or so.
Welcome to the playoffs. It is semifinal number 1. Better get your bracket challenges submitted because submissions will close in about 30 seconds. I'm Andrew Keel, alongside me, Evan Smith, as we get ready for the rematch from last week. It's red, it's black, semifinal number 1.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs. Very excited for this first matchup. Likely to be the best game of the day, just given some substitutions we have in our main event match. And we saw last week Black and Red put on a show for us.
They did. They put on one great match. Red getting the better of that one, getting the higher seed today. Didn't really affect anything except for they get to say they're the higher seed.
Yeah, so now with the stakes actually being tangible, could see an even closer game.
Could see an interesting one. Black without Jeff Kreidler. It will be Ryan Harris in net for Black. Red with Charlie Mastretta once again.
Yep, 2 goalies that I don't quite know much of because I don't think I've called a Red game all year. But especially with Ryan Harris, though, it'd be interesting to see how he steps in. We've seen a couple of sub goalies perform under par.
And we've seen some perform really well.
I guess that would be over par, but
yeah, we've seen some do really well, some not so great. Unfortunate the shooter went on IR last week. Could not finish his game. The E-Bug came in and did great, though, for Green.
David Ayers stepped in well.
As we get ready for red and black semifinal number 1. Winner to play, the winner of green and purple. Puck down, here we go. Humphreys will take it off the draw, and he'll leave it for Malbouf. Malbouf holds behind Mastretta. He'll pass this one up to J.C. Humphreys. J.C. Humphreys moving in over the FedEx logo, leaves it for Malbouf, over to Christian. Christian waits, backs up. Gonna leave that home for Malbouf, but Malbouf wasn't expecting, and here comes Black. Mitchell gets pickpocketed, but here comes Black once again, stealing it, and poked away by Malbouf. McDonald still with it. He'll send it over. Shot there, save made by Mastretta, and covered. McDonald going back into the draw. He'll lose that one to J.C. Humphreys. Malbouf will send it up to Christian. Christian has Weber with him. Circles back around. Showing off the hands back to J.C. Humphreys. Not able to get the shot off. J.C. sends it over to Weber. Weber will lose it, and it'll go back out of the zone. J.C. Humphreys picks it up, barely keeping it onside. Christian with it now. He'll try and dangle around a defenseman in front. Unable to do so as here comes Black. It's Mitchell. Or Sawicki, my mistake. Sawicki behind his net. Waiting. Will move it now. Moving up, he'll send this one over to Kroc. Kroc in front for Sawicki. Can't get there. Red moving back. Tomko with it. Tomko tries to thread the needle, unable to get there. Norkovikics will pick it up, though. Send it back to Trevino. Trevino back to Norkovikics. He'll leave it. Tomko. Still holding. Over to Trevino. Back to Tomko. Playing catch. Tomko's shot. Save made by Harris. And cleared by Morehouse.
A lot of speed being played in this game that we didn't see in the previous one.
A lot more at stake here.
For Black, having probably the biggest bench that we've seen all season.
Almost 3 full lines, maybe even more. Tomko over to Humphreys. Humphreys' shot just goes wide. Back to get it is Malbouf in his own zone after the change. He'll pass this one up. O'Brien tries to send it across. Unable to hit the stick of Kozlina. Moving in is Red. It's Bellsterling. A cross shot. He's going to score. That will be Zach Goldfein, and it's 1-0 Black.
Yeah, Black haven't been quite in control, but when they get their rushes, they're playing with a lot of power. Again, might be taking advantage of that deeper bench, as Red only has 2 full lines and 1 extra guy.
Red, we do know, I don't know if you don't know because you don't call Red games, but Red runs 2 defensemen and then everyone else plays forward. So we'll see Malbouf and Trevino switching back and forth the entire game. Kozlina will pick this one up. He'll move up to Humphreys. Humphreys dangles around Goldfame, but just rolls off his stick, and he's going to pick this one back up in the neutral zone. Puts on the brakes while Black is changing, and he's going to move in. Drops to the JC, over to Weber. Weber shot off the mask of Harris. Broken stick for Weber. He can't do anything, as there will be, I believe, a slashing penalty on this. Wait for something is...
Don't think there's a penalty, actually.
Yes, Bell Sterling will go to the box. Ref had to pull him off the bench.
Ooh.
Bell Sterling to the box. 2 for slashing, I believe. Or 1 for slashing.
Tried to trick him there.
As Red looking to get on with this power play. Got the Humphrey brothers, Trevino and Tomko on there. Trevino, he'll send this one over to Humphreys. Back to Trevino, over to Christian. Christian's shot save made there. JC will send it back to Christian. Christian down to JC. Waits, back to Christian to Tomko. Tomko moving it. Back to Trevino. Back to Tomko. Into the slot for JC. Fans on it. Gets it back though. He'll send it across to Christian. Great puck control here by Red. Back down to Tomko. Tomko waits. Flip this one. It'll make its way to Humphreys. Christian Humphreys moving in on the dot. Over to JC. Back to Trevino. Trevino waits over to Humphreys. Christian Humphreys shot up into the netting. 50 seconds though. Killed.
Looks like they're going to... Oh, nope, they kept the clock running for an extra 5 seconds on that penalty.
Yeah, there should still be 10 seconds to go. But there is only 5. We'll see if they let him go early. And if that's the case, that'll be unfortunate for Red.
Yeah, it looks like Bell Sterling was trying to get out immediately.
Tomko.
Oh,
He'll send it across to Malbouf. Down to Humphreys. Humphreys. JC Humphreys. Back to Christian. Christian still with it. Fans on the shot. Tomko sends it toward the net. Saved there by Harris. Christian gets it poked away. And here comes Bell Sterling. Out of the box. Shot just goes wide. Maybe got a piece of it there. Was Mastretta. Tomko will send that one up. Norkovic will carry. He'll give this one off to Weber. Weber sends it all the way around. Sawicki will be there to get there. Norkovic there tries to flip it in. Turned over by Black. McDonald. He fights with Weber. It'll make its way up to Sawicki. Sawicki moving in. Can't get the shot off. Back to Cole Antonio. Across to Kroc. Kroc waits. Save there by Mastretta. Weber. All by himself in the corner. As he'll make his way up. Matt Weber moving in. Dangles between the legs. Poked away though by Harris. Kroc will carry. Can't make its way through the Red defense. Malbouf there to pick that one. Malbouf will send it up to Weber just past his stick. No icing. Morehouse wanted one. He will be there to send it around. Sawicki will cut off, and here comes Black. 2-on-2. Sawicki back to the trailing man. Shot goes wide, tipped away, and sent all the way back down for Goldfane. Goldfane will flip this one up off of Jarman, but Humphreys will clear it up to Trevino. Trevino's going to leave that one for Christian Humphreys. Humphreys making his way through everyone. Great save by Harris. Rebound is there and picked up again by O'Brien. Back to Humphreys. Humphreys still with it. Leaves it. O'Brien with it. Tries to send it in front, but blocked. Kozlina. Kozlina loses it, and it'll go out of the zone before he picks it back up. Humphrey sends it over to Trevino. He'll circle around. Has Goldfane on him. Able to make a miss. Up to O'Brien. O'Brien's going to leave it for Humphreys. Humphreys moving in into the slot. Cleared out. Trevino keeps it in, though. Great play by Trevino. Back to O'Brien. O'Brien shot save made. Rebound there. Unable to go from Kozlina. Cleared all the way down. Trevino will be the first one to it. He'll clear it all the way up to Humphreys. Humphreys can't get a stick on it. And this will be an icing.
Long period there going back and forth. It seems like for Red, they just can't quite get the offensive system running.
They're doing a good job of possession. They just can't get the right shot. And it's almost like they need to start taking more shots as opposed to finding the perfect shot. Weber will come in on the face-off. Tries to get it up to Tomko. Out of reach, though, as here comes Black. Mitchell, he'll send it around. Bell Sterling shot, save made by Mistretta. And Malbouf now fighting with Bell Sterling behind the net. Back to the point to Love. Love back to Bell Sterling. Around Weber, Malbouf now holding him up against the boards. Poked out there by Tomko. Lewandowski will send this one up. And then it will be sent right back to Lewandowski, who will find Love on the far side. Love now. Tries to flip it up. Tomko intercepts, but flips it up to Weber. Weber with just Lewandowski will lose possession. Bell Sterling picks it up. He'll flip it back to Lewandowski. Tomko chases as Lewandowski will flip it towards the bench. Could have been too many men there if that hits him, but not, as here comes Cole Antonio. Cole Antonio tries to send it toward the slot. Tomko's there, though, as that one will be flipped out. McDonald will be the one to pick it up. He'll flip behind that. Tries to go for Sawicki. Did not read it correctly, but will make its way up to Cole Antonio. Antonio's shot save made there by Mistretta. Malbouf using the body there. He's going to force Cole Antonio off and move it up to Kozlina. Kozlina loses it as he has three Black around him. McDonald. He'll move in. Behind the net now. Great play there by Trevino. Taken down is Kozlina. And it will make its way to O'Brien, and here comes Red. Will O'Brien leaves it. Norkovikics across. One more save there by Harris. Back to Trevino. Trevino will circle out of his own zone to try and get some more troops. He will. He'll leave it for Kozlina. Kozlina will dance across the line. He'll move his way in around Kroc. Great play there by Morehouse to block that pass, as that one will be cleared all the way down. Trevino has to win a foot race and will not. Kroc will beat it out. But Kroc will turn that one right over. Here comes Kozlina. Kozlina moving in, poked away by Goldfein, who will be the first one to it, and leave it for Humphreys. Humphreys dangling, has Jarman on him. He'll move in. Sent in front, no one there to bury it. Jarman with it. Moving in is Jarman. He'll move, try and make a move. It'll go behind the net. Into the slot. Goldfein shot save made there by Mistretta. Jarman still with it. He'll circle around, send in front, poked away. And Mistretta standing tall. Malbouf behind the net. Red going for a little bit of a change. J.C. Humphreys, fresh from the bench, will send it up to Christian. Christian over to J.C. Shot blocked there. Christian over to Malbouf. Malbouf holds. Shot save made there by Harris. Here's J.C. He'll leave it for Weber. Weber can't get through Goldfein, but he's going to steal it off Jarman. Weber goes behind the net. Oh, right to J.C. Humphreys. Just couldn't get the shot off in time. Beautiful pass. I was going to try and go down to Christian. Poked, tipped away by Goldfein. Christian gets it poked, but right to J.C. Humphreys' stick. J.C. moving in. Shot goes up and wide. Trevino. He'll send it down and around. Christian Humphreys will be there. Christian Humphreys tried to go for the Michigan, couldn't get it on his stick. Hill's turnaround shot, tried to catch Harris off guard. Just at the last second, though, able to make the save. Jarman a hold behind the net as we finally get a break. Jarman, he'll send this one up to Belsterling. He's moving in. Gets it poked away by Trevino, though. As Red gains possession once again, it's O'Brien. He'll send it one up. Norkovic. He'll send this one. Trevino leaves it. He'll pick it up, though. Pass across, unable to hit Norkovic, and now Black, led by Belsterling. He has Mitchell with him, holds, and leaves it. Love will dump it in. Trevino bats it away from Mitchell. O'Brien with it. Just past the stick of Tomko, and a whistle, finally.
Not the game I expected to end up being low scoring, but only one goal now and 2/3 of the way through the first period.
Very low scoring game. Both teams doing great defensively. I feel like that's what these two teams were most known for, though, is how good they were defensively.
Yeah, and that's going to be led by, oops, who am I looking for? Why am I blanking here? Oh, Thomas Jarman. We saw last game another Boston University guy. Him and Jarman, when they're on the ice, they like to control that play.
Tomko, he'll carry from behind his own net. Looking to go coast for coast. He'll cut his way into the slot shot there. Norkovic. Save there by Harris. O'Brien will leave it for Malbouf, who sends it down to Norkovic. Still holding. Poked out by Lewandowski. Malbouf will pick it up and retreat to his own zone. Red going for a small change because Lena now on. He'll send this one over to Malbouf. Back to O'Brien. O'Brien to Malbouf. Malbouf across. Can't find the stick of Kozlina. Humphreys will carry over the center ice logo. He'll move in. Between his own legs across. Unable to get there. Rebound. Harris keeping them all out. Flipped out and down. Morehouse in a race with Malbouf. Malbouf will win the race. Has too many Black on him. Sawicki intercepts. And O'Brien will come away with the puck for Red. He'll send it up to Humphreys. Christian Humphreys moving in. Can't hold it. That one's going to be set to Trevino. Trevino shot towards the net. Tipped wide. Shot there by Humphreys goes wide. Because Lino will be the first one to it. He'll send it to Trevino and back to center. Trevino up to Humphreys. Humphreys will carry. It's towards the net. No one there. JC at the point will grab it. Back down to Christian. Jumps over his stick. Sent across to Kozlina. Kozlina back to JC. He'll carry. Goes behind the net. Set across. No one there. Christian to JC. Tries to do it Black. Too good defensively. Kroc moving in a 4-on-1 for Black. Shot there by Kroc, save made. Mistretta rebound is somewhere, and it's going to go in. It's going to be Jackson Kroc who gets the rebound, and it's 2-0 Black.
They were just circling the net like sharks there and ended up getting that tip. And we talked about not knowing how Ryan Harris would perform being a new goalie. Well, so far he's performing absolutely electric.
He is playing great back there for Black. An anchor they needed as Red has been all offense so far. Very good in the offensive zone so far. Speaking of which, Weber will move it in, trying to get a goal back, trying to cut this lead back down to 1. Jarman will intercept as he picks it up behind the net. He'll flip this one up. Belsterling puts on the brakes, tries to set it across to Hickson. He will get there, tries to go for Goldfein in front, tipped wide though. Sent toward the net, Mistretta will leave it for Trevino. Trevino will try and pass it up. No one there. It goes straight to Jarman. Jarman up to Goldfein. Goldfein moving in. Tipped away there by a great stick. Norkovic will have it intercepted as we will get a penalty on that play. Cohen Belsterling with his second penalty of the game.
Man, he's been both a positive and a negative. Because one play that didn't get pointed out was earlier, about 8 minutes ago, I think it was, on an attempted offsides. Sterling did nearly a full split in order to keep it on sides. But also 2 penalties, especially in a game like this.
Red yet to get a power play goal this game, 2 this season, both from Will Tomko, the leading goal scorer on this Red team. Malbouf will have it. He'll give it to Tomko. Back to Malbouf. Malbouf shot, glove, saved by Harris. This is the same power play unit we saw earlier with the Humphreys squared, Malbouf, and Tomko. Didn't work last time. Seeing if they can get it working this time. Christian will lose the draw, but it will make its way to Malbouf at the point. Christian Humphreys. Shot goes wide and wide. Over to Tomko. Back to Christian. Back to Malbouf. Back to Christian. He'll move in. Behind the net. Over to Norkovikic. To Malbouf. Leaves it for Tomko. Tomko back to Malbouf. Malbouf all the way across. Norkovikic tries to go down for Christian. Unable to do it. Norkovikic back to Christian. Christian's shot save there. Back to Norkovikic. To Malbouf. Back to Christian. Penalty has expired. Back to Tomko. Tomko's shot, save made and covered by Harris. Another great kill for Black.
Especially with this rookie goaltender. Can we say rookie? Is that count as a goat?
Yeah.
Yeah, Goat League rookie goaltender being able to kill off those 2 penalties. And a great glove save. So it's not like it's Harris just being a product of luck here.
Red unable to do so. Unable to find the back of the net so far this first period. Only 2:40 to go. Don't got much time if you want to cut this lead before the end of the period. Christian Humphreys. He'll wrap it around. Shot there. Blocker save there by Harris. That'll be flipped up. McDonald will chase. Trevino pokes it away, though. Mitchell get his stick lift, and here comes Red. Kozlina moving in. Shot. Save made and goes above the net. Tomko will pick it up. He's got Trevino at the point. Trevino's shot. Tried to get tipped from Kozlina. Just too far out of reach. McDonald will have it. He'll try to send it to Tomko, who is on the wrong team, and Red will pick it up. Tomko will send it up to Christian Humphreys. Humphreys puts on the brakes, gets around McDonald. He'll leave it for Kozlina. Kozlina over to Humphreys. Humphreys in front, tip there by Trevino. And a penalty upcoming for Red as McDonald will move in. Trevino unable to get possession. No whistle. There it is. J.C. Humphreys will be the one to touch it as Black now will get a power play. Hooking will be the call. Black with 1 power play goal on the season. It is Nick Sawicki.
And it looks like that power play, depending on what stoppages, could even carry over into the second half.
Which will be, I don't know if that's unfortunate or fortunate for Red that it'll carry over.
I feel like it's probably fortunate because you kind of, by the time we get there, it'll be 6 seconds tops probably.
Morehouse at the point. He'll send it down to Kroc. Kroc will hold back to Morehouse. Morehouse working the line, sends it over to Sawicki. Sawicki back across. Unable to get there, and J.C. Humphreys. He'll be looking for a shorthanded. He's got Weber with him. Puts on the brakes, into the slot. Shot save made by Harris. Dumped down Malbouf on the chase with Kroc. Malbouf will be the first one to it. Kroc does a little bit of a stick lift. But Malbouf still with it. Great defensive play by Malbouf. Moving in 3-on-2 shorthanded. Malbouf around. Save made by Harris. Back to JC. JC over to Weber. Can't get a shot off. 8 seconds to go. Moving up. Here comes Malbouf with 4 to go. Penalty is killed. Shots just goes wide. And that will do it for the first half. And probably the lowest scoring half we've seen in Go history.
Yeah, I did not expect this 2-0 score at all, especially with Red being the team that's largely controlling the play. Ryan Harris, though, show up and show out. Has a shutout going halfway through this game.
Ryan Harris, as you just jinxed it, we will go to intermission. It is 2-0 Black. We are back for the second half. 2-0 Black is the current score as we get ready. Goals scored by Zach Goldfein and Jackson Kroc for Black. We get ready, hopefully, for a more offensive, although this game has been great, even despite the lack of offense.
Yeah, this is proof that even low-scoring hockey sometimes can be better than the high-scoring ones, especially when it's in a league where basically every game is high-scoring.
Black will win the draw. Lewandowski will wrap around. He'll leave it and tipped right to Trevino. He's got McDonald on him, but will make its way over to Norkovikics, who will turn it over back to McDonald, though, as we will have a penalty coming for Red. High sticking. I believe that'll be on Norkovikics.
Man, I thought in the playoffs we were supposed to not call the penalties, but so far, 4 in one game.
It will be Christian Humphreys, so that will be Red's best player sitting for a minute. Red has proved they can kill a penalty. They did pretty good on that first one. Almost had a short-handed goal on their last penalty kill.
We did see one short-handed earlier today, which, to Caden's memory, was the first one he'd seen in this league.
I haven't seen one either, so.
Maybe lightning strikes twice.
Tomko tries to get around Lewandowski. He will take some down. No call. As here comes Black. McDonald, he'll leave it. Turned over, though, as here comes Tomko on a breakaway. Will Tomko flips it over the net. Had a beautiful chance to beat Harris for the first time. Love will send this one over to Mitchell. Mitchell will move in. Tries to send it toward the front. Will make its way to McDonald. He'll send it back. Love. Holds. Sent in front. Tipped over. Save made by Mastretta. Trevino will pick this one, as he will wait as Black changes and Red. He'll circle behind the net. Off the boards to Weber. Weber with speed past Goldfein. Penalty killed over the net once again. I feel like Red's starting to shoot high now.
Yeah, they still got that speed rush going, but it's still, they're rattled by this goaltender Ryan Harris coming in and not being able to stump him.
Unable to solve him so far. Seeing if they can go high to beat him. Been just shooting a little too high these past couple chances. Kozlina will win it back to Malbouf. Malbouf will try and send it back to Kozlina. Will wrap its way around Hickson. Will flip it. Christian Humphreys out of the box. On the ice shot. He's going to score! What a shot there. just under the bar, and it's 2-1.
Oh, turns out going high was the solution. Just got to tinker it a little bit longer.
Christian Humphreys, with the hardest angle you could possibly see, snipes it, saying this game ain't over until I say so.
Hey, there's 20 minutes left. Nobody said it was over.
Because Lena will send it to Malbouf, up to Weber. Weber moving in. Tries to send it towards the net. Humphreys had to dive out of the way of Harris there as he comes out to cover.
Now the key for Harris is after you let one in, don't let your head get into it. We've seen a couple times where goalies have amazing starts, and then after they let up the first one, it's kind of like the floodgates open.
Don't let it get to your head. Humphreys. Off a black player to Malbouf, but blocked. Belsterling. 3-on-1 for Black. Christian Humphreys, the only one back. Too far back for Jarman, and now Red the other way. Weber. Weber tries to send it to the slot. No one there. As Belsterling will pick it up for Black. He'll move in. Poked away by Humphreys. But Hickson gets there before Humphreys can. Hickson will try and flip it out. Black unable to clear the zone. It's Red is putting all the pressure on. Sawicki, he'll send it up to Goldfein, just off his stick and off the boards. Goldfein to Sawicki. Shot goes wide. He will still grab it. He'll send it around, but Malbouf will be the first one to it. Flips it up. Cole Antonio will poke it away from a Red body. Bouncing around Malbouf. The first one to it. Morehouse cuts off the pass, though. He's going to move in across to Sawicki. Backhand attempt. As he's still going to pick it up in front of Morehouse. Save made. Mistretta rebound is somewhere, and it pokes free. No goal. Mistretta reaching across, keeping it out of the goal.
Similar to Black's first goal, just kind of go to war in front of the net. That time, puck went the opposite direction.
Puck was loose, but lost sight of it was the ref. As we have a timeout, Red. That is the correct call. Timeout, Red. Pretty early.
It's interesting to see that Red has twice as many people on their bench as they did, just they're not dressed.
Yeah. A lot of spectators, a lot of coaches, maybe a couple trainers on there.
That's real. They're just there to heckle. They're hockey players.
I'm assuming members of one of the other 4 teams in the league.
And it's interesting, start of the period and now, Christian Humphreys and Jackson Morehouse have been having deep conversations with the referees.
Look, I don't know about deep. They're pretty, they're all laughing about it. So I don't know if it's that deep, but they're having conversations, that's for sure.
Bro, let me craft my narrative. Got to make this interesting. The more dramatic, the better.
Croc will win the face-off. It'll make its way to Cole Antonio, who will try and get around Tomko. Can't do so. Turned over, and Tomko will pick up the loose puck. It gets flipped down to Humphreys just out of his reach. And now Croc will pick it up for Black. Croc will move in. Tomko all over him. Shot save made. Mistretta. Rebound is covered. To Black on top of him. Tomko and Mitchell will be in the draw. Mitchell will win it back, but almost straight to Norkovikics, who's cutting for the defense. Sent around, and Norkovikics will be the first one to it. He'll send it out, but it'll be picked up here by Love. Love will send it up to Mitchell. He'll move this one up to McDonald. McDonald back. Shot there by Love. Hits McDonald behind the net. That one's a stinger. Lewandowski. Over to Love. Love to McDonald. McDonald back to Lewandowski. Sends it down to Mitchell. Intercepted by Trevino, and Humphreys will carry for Red. Taking a body there was McDonald, even though he's behind the net. So an unfortunate bounce for him. Trevino will carry. He'll send this one up. J.C. Humphreys will get there, sends it back to Trevino. Trevino's shot tipped there by J.C. just goes wide. Jarman for Black will send it. Harris will poke this one over. Love. Referee takes a tumble as that one will be dumped and icing Black. Red. Still 15 minutes left, but maybe a little urgency needs to be picked up if they want to get back.
Yeah, any single goal in this close of a game changes the entire script.
Kozlina moving in. The Red acquisition late in the season turns it over, but Weber will pick it up in his own zone. Weber gets around Belsterling. He's going to pick it up into the slot. Kozlina shoots just wide. Jarman has it. He'll send it up. Goldfein. Sent across. Poked there by Belsterling. Almost. Malbouf with it. He'll send it up to J.C. Humphreys. Humphreys across. Kozlina's shot just goes wide. Rebound for J.C. Blocked by Jarman. Humphreys behind the net. No one there as Red was changing. O'Brien. He'll give it up to Christian. Christian. Around, wraparound. No one there. Poked right back to him and sent over to Norkovikics. Back to Humphreys. Humphreys shot save made by Harris. Tried to be cleared and will by Black. Morehouse chasing after Malbouf, who will be the first one to it. He'll send it up to Christian, who will leave it for O'Brien. O'Brien tries to go back for Humphreys. Sawicki intercepts. Poked away by O'Brien. Back to Humphreys. Humphreys shot. He's going to pop the water bottle. Another one for Christian Humphreys. It's tied.
And there, Ryan Harris just showed a bit of anger. He just smashed his stick on the wall. And just like that, we got a 13-minute, 40-second game.
And just like that, the game has restarted, as you said. Christian Humphreys picking the corner twice now. This time popping the water bottle. Harris unhappy with that one. Crock and O'Brien in the face-off. O'Brien will win it back to Trevino. Trevino sends it over to O'Brien as they've got a 2-on-2 developing. Switches places with Norkovikics. O'Brien moving in across. Norkovikics can't get the handle on it. Over to Trevino. Trevino back to Tomko. Tomko's shot saved there and covered.
Luckily, Harris didn't let another quick one in. Got his emotions out real quick. Looks like he's toned it down.
Definitely calmed down, which is a good sign. Don't want to get your anger out and prove to Red that there's a chance that they've gotten to you.
Only a bad sign for those of us who bet the over.
Winning the draw is Red. O'Brien will send it to Trevino. Trevino across to Tomko. Wide open. Around. Can't get him. Had Harris down. Weber. Back to Trevino. Trevino down to Tomko. Tomko for in front. Tipped just wide by Trevino. Trevino intercepts that pass, though, as he's behind the net with it. Back to the point. Tomko. In front. Weber there. Just goes wide. Lewandowski with it. He'll flip it up. Love up to McDonald. McDonald tries to go to Mitchell. Blocked there by Trevino. Weber, though, picks a pocket. And here comes Red. O'Brien to Tomko. Intercepted Mitchell. Falls down on top of the puck. It makes its way to Weber for Red. He's going to have it along the boards. He'll leave it for Malbouf. Malbouf leaves it for Tomko. Tomko in front. No one there. Malbouf will pick it up on the FedEx logo. Malbouf in front. Shot saved there by Harris. Lewandowski sends it down. McDonald. He'll hold as Red changes. Tries to send it up for Hickson, who's streaking offside. Just barely.
Yeah, good call there. I thought he was going to get away with it, though.
Red was clamoring for it. Ref saw it as that's going to go all the way back down. As we will see an offensive zone face-off for Red. Could be a momentum changer. Black just had a bit of momentum on that pass. Just offside. Can Red jump back, stop the Black comeback? Even though they're not down. JC will win this one back just out of reach. Malbouf. And he'll pick it up. He'll leave it for Humphreys. Christian Humphreys. Christian Humphreys moving in. Behind the net. Tried to go for a wraparound. Just rolled off his stick. He'll go back to Tomko. Over to Kozlina in front. Kicked there by JC. Don't know if that one would have counted if it went in. Kozlina. Fighting with it along the boards. It'll make its way to JC. Back to Christian. Back to Malbouf. Over to Christian. Christian's shot just goes wide. Malbouf pokes that one to Kozlina. Kozlina into the slot shot there. Save made. Harris and whistled dead.
Harris staying in it as we cross 10 minutes to go. It's a 10-minute game.
Under 10 to go. Red is called back. Even though they were only down by 2, but back to tie this game. In this game, calling back is 2, as it is a very low-scoring game. Morehouse will try and send it up. Will make its way all the way to Sawicki. He's got no one to help. Save there by Mastretta. Hasn't seen a shot in a while, so a little bit of a wake-up one there. Humphreys. 3-on-1 for Red. Christian Humphreys. Waits. Morehouse lays out to stop that one. It's going to be sent behind. Cole Antonio up to Morehouse. Morehouse to Sawicki. Sawicki's shot goes wide. Kozlina will try and get there. Unable to make it all the way. Back to Morehouse. Morehouse shot tipped in front and goes wide. Kroc will pick it up. Turned over to Kozlina. Moving in is Norkovikics. He'll poke it past Morehouse. Taken down is Morehouse. Norkovikics puts on the move around Cole Antonio. Save there. Back to Tomko. Tomko tries to flip it over Sawicki. It'll make its way to Weber. Gets around Morehouse. Shot. Weber goes wide. Action picking up. Trevino in his own zone. Up to Weber. Weber will poke it forward to Norkovikics. Back to Tomko. Tomko spins around. Weber with it. Still has it. Sends it down. Norkovikics. Back to Tomko. Tomko behind the net. Fighting with Cole Antonio. It'll make its way to Weber. Weber to Trevino. Trevino. Waits. Still has it. Gives it off. Tomko to the slot. Weber. Weber spins around to Tomko. Poke just out of reach, so he'll collect it and send it on net. Save made. Harris. Mitchell will try and send it out. Will not make its way. Cole Antonio will, and it will be an icing. 7:23 to go in the second half.
And since we crossed that 10-minute mark, the physicality's been picking up. Both of these teams know it's do or die time.
This is the final 10 minutes, barring overtime, of one of these teams' season. Both teams have played really well this season, and one of them's done. O'Brien. Over to Malbouf. Malbouf to Humphreys. Humphreys' shot went for a tip. Just went wide, though. Malbouf with a great defensive play to stop that puck, as no one knows where it went. It was in the sock of McDonald, or in the skate of McDonald. I just saw him reach over and pull that one out of his skate. So ref lost sight, as I'm sure everyone did, except for McDonald, who knew where that one was. Humphreys will take that one off the draw. He'll move it over to JC. JC Humphreys tries to leave it for Christian. He just wasn't looking. Here comes Belsterling. He'll carry in. Shot there, save made, Mistretta. Rebound is covered. And a whistle, 6 minutes now in the second half. J.C. Humphreys will take on Belsterling in the faceoff. Every faceoff getting more and more important. Cleared out all the way, as this one will not have enough steam to be an icing. Jarman will have to skate all the way down to pick that one up. Jarman tries to get around Christian Humphreys, unable to do so. Christian Humphreys to JC, fans on the shot. Jarman will have it. He'll send it over to Goldfein. Goldfein moving in. Poked away by O'Brien. In front, shot just wide by Belsterling. Malbouf has Goldfein all over him. Tries to get rid of it, will make its way to Kozlina, poked away and shot off the foot of Morehouse. Belsterling over to Jarman. Jarman waits, fires, rebound is poked away by Kozlina. O'Brien, he'll get it out. Christian Humphreys pokes it over. Kozlina now 2-on-1. Kozlina shot, rebound is there, but not in reach, as that one will be cleared for another black icing. 4:30 to go in the game. Black seemingly turning it on after red has dominated most of the second half.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like how both of these teams have lacked the runs that we usually see in GOAT hockey. It's a mix of both goaltender play and just not getting the right shots.
Humphreys. He'll carry, send it over. Kozlina couldn't get the shot. Trevino's shot, tried to get a tip, just too far wide. Sawicki, he'll leave it off for Kroc. Kroc up to Morehouse. Morehouse taken down. He'll still have it, poked away though. Weber moving in. 3-on-1. Morehouse complaining. Over to Humphreys. Humphreys will wait. He will score! Pops the water bottle once again. And it's Christian Humphreys 3, Black 2.
And Harris, he fell for the same trick for a third time. Been absolutely incredible in this game, but he clearly has that one clear weakness in Christian Humphreys. Took advantage of it 3 times in this half alone.
Jackson Morehouse very visibly upset with the no call at the line.
Hey, it's time to give Charlie Mistretta his flowers. He's shut them out for the last 20 minutes of this half.
Holding is Malbouf. Send it over to Weber. Poke there. Could have been dangerous for Cole Antonio. Malbouf will flip this one up. Just out of reach of Norkovikics. No icing as he will win the race. He'll send it up to Tomko. Tomko's shot goes wide. Weber will send it over to Malbouf. Malbouf's going to flip this one to Norkovikics, who almost turned it over. He'll send it back. Turned over, though. Sawicki over to Kroc. Kroc. Pass gets intercepted. Weber will pick it up. Up to Mitchell. Mitchell will try and corral it. Can't do so. That'll be cleared down and an icing for red. Harris thought he was going to go. Got told by the bench to wait. So no empty net quite yet. As he will skate up to the bottom of the circles. Probably waiting to see if Black wins this faceoff.
Yeah, it feels like the one kind of game where maybe pulling your goalie isn't the best idea just because play has been so close.
Yeah. McDonald and Humphreys in the faceoff. Won by red, turned over though. Moving in front, Christian Humphreys with a great defensive play to stop the rebound.
Luckily, Harris stayed in.
J.C. Humphreys will send it in deep, and it'll be picked up here by Love. Love will move in. Christian Humphreys will steal that one. Hickson playing a little bit of body. Loses it to Tomko, and here comes Will Tomko moving in. He's going to score! 4-2 in favor of Red. It's Will Tomko, his 14th of the, calendar year. But I don't know if it'll count for his goal total. But it is 4-2 Red.
And that might just be the dagger in a game that's been this low scoring, only a minute and 40 to work with. Red, this second half, the tides turned completely.
Harris coming to the bench now. Poked away there by Morehouse. It'll be sent over to Belsterling. Way offsides, but not called. Humphreys will try and clear, will make it to Tomko. And Tomko, moving in, has 2 on him, sends it over to JC, who will miss the net completely on the wide open cage. McDonald sends it up to Goldfein. Goldfein hand to himself, will make its way to Belsterling, behind his back to Goldfein. Blocked there. Great play by JC Humphreys. And that one will not make its way out, kept in barely by Lewandowski. Sent in by McDonald. Goes all the way across. Lewandowski will be the first one to it. 48 to go. Sent in front. No one there. Kept in just barely by Belsterling. Over McDonald. McDonald shot save made. Rebound in front. Lewandowski will bury it. And it is 4-3 with 38 to go.
Now, is it too little too late, though? Keeping Harris on the bench. But with only 38 seconds to work with and a goaltending performance like Charlie Mistretta's put on in the second half, do we really think that they can score? But they will take a timeout in order to discuss it.
Timeout for Black. As with Lewandowski's goal, I'm just going to predict that if Black scores, it's going to be Tyler Love. As first goal, Zach Goldfein, number 4. Second goal, Jackson Kroc, number 5. Third goal, Caden Lewandowski, number 6. Number 7, Caden Love. Tyler Love.
This might be my bad eyesight, but it says here 7,113.
Harris will go to the net. So Black will start with 4. He will stand at the hash marks, though, presumably if Black wins this face-off.
You're telling me Red wouldn't let them win the face-off for entertainment value? Selfish.
Belsterling will come on. Morehouse jumping way early for Black. Turned over. Belsterling. He'll hold. Back to Jarman. To Morehouse. Poked just wide by Kozlina. Kozlina will get it out of the zone. Weber there will clear it all the way down. 17 to go. Sawicki. Have to go up quickly. It's Kroc. Moving in. 10 to go. Kroc's and across, just wide. Sawicki to Morehouse. Bounces off his stick. Got to get a shot off quickly. Great play. But there, into the netting. 0.2 on the clock. They may add more time, though.
I mean, anything is still going to be below a second remaining. Looked to me like it was about 0.7.
I think it was around 1 second. So we may have some additional time added. Black definitely going to load the one side of the faceoff dot. 1.8 is what they put on the clock. Face-off won by Red and cleared. And Red is going back to the Cranberry Cup Finals, winning last year, coming back from behind this year to make it to the Cup Final again. And a thrilling game, probably one, despite being low scoring, one of the best games of the year so far.
I'd say one of the best games of the year so far because it was low scoring. It's the kind of thing you don't see in the GOAT League. Shut out in the first half by one goalie, and this close to having one in the second half by the opposing goalie. Charlie Mistretta, I don't think we gave him his credit in the second half. Only gave up that one goal, absolutely phenomenal performance. And then Black, with those last 30 seconds or so, just got a bit too desperate, turned their play sloppy, weren't able to connect for anything.
Yeah, as you said, Black got a little sloppy in the end. They really needed it, and they got sloppy because they were trying too hard. Red did a great job. They found out Harris halfway through that second half, and they just beat him the same way 4 times. 3 by Christian Humphreys, 1 by Will Tomko.
Yeah, he wears that C for a reason, and especially if Mistretta can keep it up, Red's going to be dangerous to watch next week.
Red will be back next week at 7 for the championship game. Who will they face? Will it be purple? Will it be green? We will find out in approximately, well, we'll find out in about an hour 20. but we will start that game in about 20 minutes. We'll be there.
One spot remains in the Cranberry Cup finale. It's green. It's purple. The number 1 seed versus the number 4 seed. And we're about to get it underway. Cade McCrory alongside me, Andrew Keel. We saw an absolute thriller just moments ago with red taking down black 4-3. Will we see a rematch? As the underdog green was in the finale last year but fell just short. Purple, their first ever playoff appearance. And they're without some of the Penn State fill-in players, but still have the likes of Ty Voigt, Matt DeMarsico, Austin Swankler, and Evan Conyan on their roster, and a really good nutmatter in Chase Hale.
Yeah, they won't have the fill-ins that are not on the roster, so Green, I think, appreciates that they don't add players for playoffs. As Green last year went undefeated and lost in the finals. This year looking to be the underdog to make the finals, as to try and reclaim the glory that they lost against Red last year.
It took one shot last week that made or break if they'd even get to this point, and Captain Colby Saginaw won it for them in the shootout over Team White that won the toilet bowl just a couple hours ago. But another playoff appearance for Green, a chance to go back to the championship on the line. They get a little bit of help as Liam Murphy, the Chatham alumni, joins the roster for this game, as well as Beck McLean's younger brother Emmett, who's wearing number 13. And they'll have a substitute goaltender in with Zach Ferris out. It'll be Ethan Blackburn in the Duquesne University netminder. And Andrew, the last time these two teams played, Blackburn was in net and he had 16 goals. I think there's one thing on his mind right now, and that's revenge.
Yeah, he came out, get the loss for Green against Purple, 16 goals against, but also came back and played the next game and won. So he might have been a little rusty, coming into his first game. Came into that second game, got the win. Maybe he's got a little more footing under him for today's game.
Green with a much more lengthy bench in this one. Purple with an even 2 lines. Saginaw will be the one to take the draw. He has Robertson to his left, Mauser to his right, and Murphy on defense. Of course, to mention Ethan Blackburn in the cage. Purple will start with Matt DeMarsico, Ty Voigt, Mike DeMarsico, and Austin Swankler with Chase Hale. Between the pipes, Hale so far this season 4-2 and 8.50 goals against average. Some of the best numbers in the GOAT 3-4 league this season.
One of the only goalies to play every game.
I believe only him and Volsky have that honor right now. Mauser and DeMarsico, the ones to get this party started. 23 minutes on the clock, 2 periods left of semifinal hockey, and here we go. Purple gets it off the draw. Matt DeMarsico back to Ty Voigt. Sends this up to DeMarsico through center. Swankler back in the lineup after missing last week and the week before's contest. Has a little help from the referee, and Green can send the other way, trying to send it all the way down to Saginaw. And a diving play from Voigt prevented it. Here's Murphy streaming down. Voigt gets down with the skate. Sends it forward to the captain, Mike DeMarsico. Drops this one off to Ty Voigt. Gets around Saginaw, has some room to work with, fires one and scores. Ty Voigt gets the party started. It's a 1-0 lead for Purple.
Just as we saw in that last game these two played against each other, getting ahead of Blackburn early, as if this goes how it did last time, this is going to be a long night for Green.
Short-term memory loss. This might be the best friend of Team Green right now. It's only a 1-goal differentiate between the two. So nothing too out of control yet. Here's Jack Nolan, one of the underdogs this season for Purple, ending his season with 6 goals. Puts that one in for them, and then Simcoe sends it up for Milan Cermak to take it in. Going across, and Cam Davis on the back door, and we're all knotted up at 1.
I think we're in for a little bit of a different game than we just saw, as it took about 18 minutes for this many goals to be scored in the last game, and it's taken about a minute and a half in this game.
7 total goals last game, 2 already in the first 2 minutes. Here comes Dom Shimizi driving in. Sends this one behind the net to Nolan. Looks up high, has Evan Conyan, the recent Flint Firebird acquisition and captain of Purple. Puts this one in, going across for Nolan, couldn't get there, and now Cermak will lead the charge for Green as he gets a little tripped up from Conyan in his skates, looking for Beck McLean, his Chatham teammate. behind the net. Looking for Davis, past his stick, will roll all the way down. Blackburn will come out of his crease to hold on to it. Purple gets a couple fresh bodies on. Blackburn sends it up to Davis. Behind the net. Looks to send this one up. Purple in the lane. Swankler dangles through one, pushes to his backhand, strives in backhand to get it. Austin Swankler beats Blackburn, and they're up 2-1 in this contest.
Just able to get Blackburn to come out of his crease. Going side to side in the wrong direction. Unfortunate for Blackburn. And a 2-1 lead for Purple. As we once again inch closer to getting the same amount of goal totals as we had last game in only 3 minutes.
Green with an interesting strategy to put 3 players on the ice. Eventually Liam Murphy hops on to make it 4. Behind the net, Swankler beats it out, gives it up high to Voigt. Voigt coming between the legs, and will pick it up along the wall. Up high to DeMarsico. On his backhand, leaves it off for his brother, and now over to Ty Voigt. He'll take this one back to his blue line, puts it on. Swankler with a block, and will recollect. Attempts to chip around Tommy Whitford. Keeping it alive is the captain, and he'll move it back to Voigt. Into the corner. Matt DeMarsico lets it go. He'll retain it. Down low to Mike. Fires one over the head of Blackburn, and Matt will pick it up. DeMarsico walks the blue line. All over him is Emmett McLean, and will roll into the corner. DeMarsico for Swankler. Couldn't hold on to it, as we'll swap places with Voigt. Puts it towards the front. DeMarsico looks to tuck it in. Still loose. Goes through the blue paint, and Blackburn gets a hold of it and will get the stop.
That one was risky. I mean, the ref was in a bad position for where that was. Could have went in. No reaction, though, from the players on the ice, so it doesn't seem like it did. But if that just squeaks across the line, I don't think a ref's able to see that.
Yeah, that's, as you said, that's a bad angle. He was by the far boards almost. I mean, how can you even see that? But I think we're going to take the word of the players on the ice, though, that was in the blue paint and not over the line. Mauser sends this one over to Captain Saginaw, as mentioned, the hero last week, to send Green to this point. Without the Coleys this year, had to reshape the roster, and they've had a lot of great depth scoring, not one particular player taking the reins as the star of this team. Saginaw gets it away from Shimizi, sends it down low, has Whitford. Whitford onto his backhand, looks to go up high, stopped by Chase Hale. Mauser at the blue line, sends it into the corner. Back to Saginaw, down low for Murphy. Shimizi gets his stick in there. Sending Conyon free now for Purple. Gets around Saginaw. Puts this one on and wide. Cam Davis, the lone goal scorer for Green, drops it off for Liam Murphy. He has a head of steam. Shimizi takes him down. No call. Shimizi forward for DeMarsico. Goes down the right wall, steaming in. Blackburn stop. The glove of DeMarsico into the net behind Blackburn, so he'll play with one less piece of equipment. And now the other way, Cam Davis sent free. Davis shot, save made. Rebound is loose. Cermak tried to sneak it in. Hale with a lucky stop with the pad.
That could have been very dangerous for Hale. Could have been a very unfortunate bounce, as that would have tied this game.
Lucky breaks. Green only 1 goal deficit here early on. Simcoe tied up with DeMarsico. Out with it comes Team Purple. Voigt forward to Mike DeMarsico. Down the right side, puts it on with a deflection. Blackburn gets across in time for the save. 16:45 to go in the first half.
Blackburn is kind of settled down now. Maybe the nerves of playoffs, facing a team that shelled you last time. Maybe got into him the first couple minutes, but definitely seemed to have calmed down.
Swankler shot from the point. Blackburn gets a piece of it. Simcoe gets leveled by DeMarsico. And now McLean for Cermak. The Chatham teammates playing a little bit of catch. They'll send it up for Simcoe. Pass the fellow number 10, Voigt rolls on net. Hale will clear it out to center ice. A flying stick of McLean. Breaks it up for the moment of Team Purple. Swankler will take it back to the defensive zone. Gets around Cermak. And they got the man advantage the other way. Swankler. He'll pull up. Playing a little catch with the DeMarco brothers. Back up high to Mike. Down low to Ty Voigt. Looks to go through the slot. Dropped off to DeMarco's. He's hooked a little bit. No call. 2-on-0. Davis and Simcoe. Simcoe's shot. Save made by Hale. Again, Simcoe looking for Davis past his stick. Mario Smith, the lone defender for Team Purple, will carry it up ice. Gives this one across to Nolan. Backhand attempt, high and wide. Behind the net, Nolan will regain it as he shakes off a check from Mausers. Those two joust behind the play. Looking to sky it is Robertson. Gives it off to Mauser. Now forward to McLean. McLean coming in. Looks for Whitford. Miscommunication. Purple will take advantage, and here they come. Nolan for Ty Voigt. 2-on-1 to Swankler. And he puts that one high and wide. It's been the story of Swankler's season. Could have 40 goals if you let him. Now Smith's shot squared to it as Blackburn to get the whistle under 15 to go. I can't. Swankler, he's just an interesting fella, isn't he? He's, what, 9 goals this season, and I'm pretty sure about 35 missed nets. I mean, they've all been the same spot. Unless it's on purpose and he wants to shoot the scoreboard. It's very possible knowing it.
He thinks hitting the scoreboard will make it go up.
It's definitely possible. I mean, some sort of computer malfunction might happen. There's a shot on net, and that one stopped by Hale against Whitford. Here comes Purple. It's Schmizzy with Kanye, and Schmizzy pulls one, shoulder save from Blackburn. Green will settle. Whitford has Mausers. They'll change a couple bodies. On comes Saganook. He'll pick it up. Saganook shot. He scores. The captain strikes to tie this game at 2. Colby Saganook.
A great shot there. Able to beat Hale up top. We saw a lot of top shelf shots in that last game. Maybe that's what Green needs to do. Get more shots up high.
All not up at 2 early on in this hockey game. Number 1 seed Purple, number 4 seed Green. One looking to have a date next week against the reigning champion Team Red. Here's Murphy. Plays a little catch with Saganook as he'll carry up ice. Has Robertson down the wing. Robertson looks for Cermak. Has them. Cermak couldn't get the shot off. 2 Purple defenders all over him. Looks for Saganook front. Backhanded under the bar. Colby Saganook times 2. And they take the lead.
2 goals in under a minute for Colby Saganook. That one backhanded top corner. What did I say? Need to start shooting that top corner, and they've been filling it.
Green's first ever lead on Purple in the 2024 season comes in the semifinal game. Saganook has McLean storming in, fires one, stopped by Hale, and he'll hold on to that one. Green, they're buzzing.
Green is definitely buzzing. Purple upset about I believe it was the third one. They were really upset, smashing sticks along the boards. You could tell Green's momentum is getting to them, and things may not go so smoothly from here on out.
There's still a couple Red players in the building, including the Humphreys brothers, waiting to see the outcome of this hockey game. Probably preferring one team than the other. You can decide who that is. Now Green. It's McLean. Looks to dangle in. Voigt holding on to it. And we'll give this one off to DeMarco. Across the blue line. They'll drop off to Swankler. Looks to dangle through. Cermak whacks at it. Second attempt. Voigt keeps it alive. Down low to Matt DeMarco. For Ty Voigt. Up high to Swankler. Down low. Had DeMarco. Couldn't get the pass off. DeMarco splits the Green defense. Drops off to Voigt. Voigt with space and time. Murphy's stick breaks it up. A lot of Chatham alums on this team, and the chemistry they've built, unmatched. DeMarco with Voigt. Had a chance. Puck luck doesn't go their way. Swankler will cross in the zone. Swankler's shot. Cam Davis right there at the block. Deflection out of play.
Davis can do it on both ends. Scores the first goal for Green. Great defensive block there on the chance.
Looks like we got a non-sponsored Cheez-Its timeout by one of the referees. Got to get the Cheez-Its. She's the one that took the tumble last game, so she deserves some Cheez-Its. We can agree to that. McLean moves this forward for Whitford, way ahead of him, no icing. A little bit of jousting behind the play between Mauser and Nolan. Mauser's been a little pest all season long. Some of it just jokingly, other times really into it. Here's Swankler one-on-one with Mauser. Mauser gets the stick in there and takes Swankler down. Swankler somehow gets it back, looks in front for Nolan, and Mauser will break it up. Now Davis has Whitford 2-on-1. Whitford and Emmett McLean. Whitford looks, fires one. Hale getting a piece of it as it sails all the way around to Swankler. Has Voigt on the 2-on-1. Fires. Blackburn steps way out of his crease to make the stop. Davis leaves it for Saxon Robertson. Skies this one. Kept alive. Conyon tries to race out as Blackburn. Conyon reflex. Looks in front. And Swankler with the empty cage ties it up at 3.
Unfortunate, as Blackburn thought it was offsides. He's arguing with the ref right now as to why that was. Refs having a conversation about it at center ice, maybe telling each other to look a little closely each time in the future, because they can't really make a change now.
Yeah, the goal's going to stand. You saw Robertson cheat off a face-off a little, and there's Saginaw will pick it up off the give from Davis. Well, that's from my view, it was very close, to say the least. That's something we'd have to go back and go like frame by frame on to see if he was actually off. But I could tell very close.
One thing we also would have to check is if Green was the last person to touch it.
True.
Because if Green's the last person to touch it, doesn't matter.
And we got some jousting behind the play, but all friendly between Robertson and Conyon, and a little extra from DeMarsico. That one seemed like friendly. That was just some. I think a mixture of friendly and okay, I want to get under your skin a little, but no punches at least. That's what we're hoping for. Just no punches. Just you can have the jousting, just don't punch. We don't need any teams taking their players away next year because someone got a broken nose 3 weeks before the season started.
Yeah.
Whitford at the blue line, congested. DeMarsico pushing it in. Has Conyon. DeMarsico looking and puts it towards the net. A roll behind Whitford all over him. Behind Davis. He'll settle. And now we'll give to Tommy Whitford. Forward for Saginaw. They'll stop at their own blue line, get at least one fresh body on the ice. And they'll give it to him. It's Milan Cermak. Cermak has it along the right wall, pushes it on. Hale sticks it away. And now here comes Purple. DeMarsico for Conyon. Storming down the right side. Pulls it towards the net. And stopped as now Murphy will provide some congestion so Green can get some bodies on the ice. DeMarsico towards the net, ends up in the crease of Blackburn. Murphy gets it out of there. And here come the Chatham boys. Davis couldn't hold on to it. And now turned over to Beck McLean. McLean for Cermak. Couldn't get a stick on it. And icing called against Team Green.
7.5 to go in the first half. It's been back and forth. I don't think there's been a clear winner in this game so far.
I feel like you could say that about red and black. The only difference is red just had so much more zone time. But this one, you could probably say it's about 50-50 right now.
Yeah.
To the point, Voigt poked away. Cermak, foot race with Nolan. Cermak has a little bit of a break back, hands it wide of the net, but Nolan takes out the netting in the process, and stick taps all around for Team Purple. But even the referee's getting in on the clapping. Might have been the loudest I've heard in the rink tonight.
Barn was crowded for that last game.
It was. I'll give the fans credit. That was probably the second most highest attendance since the championship game last year.
I'd say so as well.
This one more lackluster, but I think more in the streaming purposes of things. So thank you for tuning in as always. Here's McLean. Looks for Simcoe. Backdoor shot wide of the net. Swankler picks it up, sends it out wide for DeMarsico. He'll storm in down the left side. DeMarsico looks for Nolan, past him, and we picked up by Green. 6 minutes to go here in the first half, all knotted up at 3. Liam Murphy pushes it forward for McLean. McLean, congested shot, picked up by Voigt, sends it all the way down for Swankler, gets it down, but a high stick called as he will not be able to touch it, and back will come Cermak to grab the puck. Forward for Simcoe. 2-on-1 with McLean. Now back comes DeMarsico. McLean dangling in, and DeMarsico will take it off him. Voigt against Mauser. Stick comes a little up high. No call. Voigt circling. Swankler shot. Hits the top bar. Rebound off the side of the net. Very close to going in. Smith up high shot. Rolls around the net. Andrew, I don't know. That was very close, but I think it was top bar.
I think it went in, but that's just me.
Simcoe breakaway. He scores. Brody Simcoe. 5-hole goal. 4-3 Green.
As bites them in the dust, as Green's going to take advantage. It looks like Kanyan, I believe, will be arguing very heavily.
And deservedly.
No, Swankler will be arguing very heavily with the ref about why that was no goal.
Deservedly so. It was very close to see from our angle. You know it was top bar. But what is it, top bar and in? Or top bar and immediately out was the question. Saginaw looking to make an extension of their lead. Well, he turned over by DeMarsico. DeMarsico coming in, looking to make up for it. Tries to go 5-hole, he does. Finished by Matt DeMarsico, and it's all knotted up at 4.
Just tried to figure out if it was a goal. It doesn't matter at this point, as they've tied it anyway.
Yes. But it could be 5-4.
I physically it cannot, because the green goal happened.
Yeah, that's true. That's okay, so it's been 4th. Okay. Yeah, we'll just count as a wash then at that point. Kanyan looking to make it 5-4. He'll send that one around, and it'll be brought back to center ice. Now, officially, Andrew, we have hit more goals in the last game, and we haven't even finished the first half. Kanyan to give the Shimizi shot. Stopped by Blackburn. Whitford feels the pressure, pushes it off to Saginaw. 2-on-1 with McLean, but DeMarsico gets it off the stick. Kanyan for Shimizi. Blocked away by Whitford, rolls behind the net. Emmett McLean picks it up. As he'll shake off the check from Shimizi. Saginaw out wide. DeMarsico will pick it off. And here comes Purple with Mauser going down. DeMarsico, pad save. Blackburn plays it off. Voigt's chance. It'll squeak through. Ty Voigt gives Purple back the lead. It's 5-4.
Unfortunate for Blackburn. Could not handle that one. Made the save, tried to go for the cover, just unable to cover it.
That was some of the worst puck luck I think I've seen, at least in today's contest. With Blackburn not even looking at the play, he was all turned around. 5-4s, Purple and Green, and keep exchanging leads. Voigt crosses that into center. Dropped off to Nolan. Forward for Voigt again. He has 2 already. Offsides Purple. And they're going to let that go for the time being. And now Davis picked up with 2.5 to go. Forward for Cermak. Couldn't get there. Voigt to pick it up for Purple. The Toronto Maple Leafs prospect. Played most of last year in the Newfoundland Growlers organization that no longer exists because their owner is a cheapskate, but we're not going to talk about that as the offsides Purple. Never seen an ECHL team fold midseason. That is just one of the weirdest things. A lot of OHL products on the ice as well. As Voigt spent most of his time in Sarnia of the Ontario Hockey League. Kanyan between Sudbury and Flint, shot there by Swankler, Erie Otter, former product, and stopped by Blackburn. Saginaw and Swankler used to be teammates on the old Erie Otters. Had a couple over them in the last couple years make their ways through. Swankler's attempt there, stopped by Blackburn. Cermak looks to play it out. Swankler right there to him, gives it off for Voigt. Couldn't hold on to it, and chopped out by Saxon Robertson. Here's Mario Smith to hold onto it. Looks to cross with Voigt. Sends it up to Swankler. Swankler, Dangler, pushes it in front. Will pick up his own rebound. 1:10 to go. Swankler looks to go through one more time. Takes a tumble, no call. And here comes Green. All 4 bodies up. Looking across for Davis. Pass won't go. And now Purple Looked for the 2-on-0, but too hard of a pass. Out comes Blackburn with under a minute. Off to McLean. Forward for Robertson. Couldn't get across the blue line. Changing his green. Swankler by his lonesome. Blackburn stops it. Murphy looks to sky this one. Gets it to McLean with Simcoe. McLean, Simcoe shot, pushes it wide. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Davis sends it down low, picked off by Swankler. Forward for Voigt, past his stick. Blackburn will let it roll around the net. Regardless, no icing. Forward for DeMarsico between the legs and wide. Simcoe couldn't get it out. Conyon for DeMarsico off the crossbar and into the netting. And they're going to let this one go. I was going to say, well, I don't know why we're stopping the clock. The end of the first half. Both teams exchanging leads, but at the end of one, purple 5 and green 4. As we'll give our voices a break, they'll get a break. We'll be back with the second half just after this. Second half about to get underway. Purple with the advantage, up by 1 here, 5-4. With goals coming 2 from Voigt, 2 from Swankler, and 1 from DeMarsico on the green side of things. Cam Davis, 2 from Colby Saganook, and 1 from Brody Simcoe. Cade McRoy alongside Andrew Keel. One final spot remains in the Karen Bay Cup final to take on Team Red. Here's Emmett McLean across for Simcoe, and he scores. Brody Simcoe ties this game up early in the second half. It's 5-all.
Green coming out strong. They needed the break. Looked a little sloppy there at the end of the first. Got it together. Got a little puck luck with a couple bounces off some skates. And Simcoe able to bury that one.
Simcoe had a hat trick early in the season. Here comes Shimizi driving in. A little bit of a weird bounce. Swankler takes a couple whacks. Blackburn will hold on for the save.
McLean with a great job there on defense. Able to get the stick lift off at the last second. Might have saved a goal there.
22 minutes this side. Green looking to go back to the finals for their second straight year. Purple in their first ever playoff game. And we'll see who has a date with Red at 7 o'clock on August 14th. Jack Nolan for Voigt in front by his lonesome and goes upstairs. Voigt, hat trick goal, and Purple takes the lead.
Able to just get that one, hold it long enough. And Voigt able to get the lead back for Purple.
Blackburn just down and out on that one. Wide open, Voigt, no defender near him. Simcoe and DeMarsico in the draw. And Green sends 3 up. Saginaw off the stick of Hale. And now Purple storms the other way. DeMarsico Crosses his way in, puts it towards the net with a little dance and walk. Conyon lost in his skates, will have to retreat, and Whitford will poke it all the way down the purple zone. Conyon behind his own net, turns it over. Whitford walks the blue line, has to retreat back out of the stick, comes Conyon's hands, and here comes Green the other way. Saginaw along the right wall, pulls it behind the net. Goes one more time looking for somebody. Purple all over him, eventually gets it off to Simcoe. Upstairs to Murphy. Down low to Saginaw, across for Simcoe, crashing in, and stopped by Chase Hale. To Marsico, forward for Smith. As he'll retreat this one back, Purple looks to set up. Green will at least get one fresh body on. Conyon chips it into the zone. Down goes Matt to Marsico. He'll cross with a couple Purple players. Now take it back in, drops off to his brother Mike. Mike's shot, pad save, rebound loose, goes into the corner. DeMarco will pick it up, upstairs for Conyon. Conyon shot, sends it off the glass all the way down. And now a foot race between DeMarco and Simcoe as Simcoe takes him into the wall. Fanned attempt by Shimizi. And now he'll storm in the offensive zone. Shimizi dangles, forehand wide of the net. Now Green, lost in the skates was Mauser, leaves it off for Cermak. Cermak will take this behind the net. Upstairs to McLean. McLean shot and he scores. Back McLean, and we're all tied up once more. It's 6-all.
Don't know what happened with Chase Hale. Did not see that one at all. Might have been screened by his own player, as he did not see that one until it was already in the net.
You saw Robertson just kind of stand there with a defenseman, and then the next thing you know, the puck's in the back of the net. So I'm not sure, like you said there, Andrew, really what happened in front of Chase Hale, or just maybe he just completely lost sight of it. But we're all tied up at 6, under 19 to go. This will be sent all the way down. Hale will come out of his net to avoid the icing. He'll give it off to Voigt. Has half the goals tonight for Purple. And here he comes with a head of steam. Puts one on, Blackburn stop, and will hold as Nolan and McLean will joust in front of Blackburn. And will continue to exchange words along the hashes. As continuing to shove along is Nolan. McLean hasn't thrown the hands up at all yet. It's all been Nolan. Off the draw, taken down as Swankler gives a little shove to the back of Cermak, and a little bit of a dive as well. Cermak and Swankler would have been teammates at Chatham. Now Robertson on the give. Forward for Cermak, and will be covered up by Hale. A little aggressive now. Purple realizing the Green's coming down their throats, and there's nothing they can really do about it.
This is what we're used to.
We said Swankler and Cermak got into it a little bit. Like I said, them and McLean would have been teammates in literally 2 weeks. But Swankler electing to go the pro route to Fort Wayne in the ECHL. That shot sailing out of play. 17 and a half to go. So you said earlier, just hopefully we don't need any punches. We don't need any injuries, especially, we said school's starting up for most of these guys, including ourselves, in only 2 weeks. Robertson off the draw. Rebound comes free and stopped by Hale, denying McLean. Green continuing their offensive prowl.
Grade A chance there for McLean. Had a real good chance to bury it. Getting across there was Hale, and he looked humongous for McLean. Bad angle.
Davis off the draw shot. Voigt blocks, rebound pops free. Robertson puts it wide. Voigt looks to get it out. Davis right there to put it back into the zone. Smith to air this one out. McLean holding, keeps it alive. Cermak across for Robertson, wide open net. Davis couldn't hold on. As McLean, and now Davis takes exception as Nolan had a cheap shot, and now multiple cheap shots as Davis throws a check, and a little bit extra from Mario Smith. Here's McLean. Looks up high to Davis off his skate, and now Smith with a little extra rebound for Robertson. Still loose. Third attempt, 4 at times. Hale can't hold on, and now some mayhem as Nolan, Davis, Smith, Cermak, everyone's involved. As you just knew, this was boiling over. After a couple cheap shots from Nolan, Cermak gets involved, Davis in there, and a lot of shots to the back of the head there. And you're going to see a couple ejections here, Andrew.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if we get 8 ejections right here.
As Cermak still jousting Davis in a headlock and trying to get these guys out of here. The referee's not doing much, but Robertson absolutely laid a beating to the head of Jack Nolan after multiple cheap shots, like we said. As Robertson's night is over, and I think for Team Green, they need that spark. And like we said, probably more than one guy is going to be exiting this hockey game. I'm surprised if Nolan doesn't go here. It looks like Nolan's going.
He looks like he's grabbing a bottle, so.
Like I said, that's at least get into the bench now. I feel like it should be Nolan. Now Konyan's going to have a talk. As we see the other commissioner, Dan Myers, is down talking to the referees. As he's looking to get something from the official. The purple bench and the green bar still barking.
I believe if I read lips correctly, he wants all of them. But I don't know if I can read lips correctly.
So now Davis and DeMarsico are going to have a talk. Konyan's already down there trying to plead the case. Davis was in the scrum, and Davis is out of here. So it looks like it should be everybody then. It'll be 16 minutes on the clock. Our clock hasn't stopped. Robertson's barking at the purple bench as well here. And now he looks for some explanation of his side. As they want more captains, at least purple does, to get in here. Saganook for green hasn't left his bench. So it'll be the alternates, I guess, trying to make the decision. Nolan still barking.
He's going to leave now.
That's the one for sure that I would think would be out of here. As looking to plead his case, Dan Myers says otherwise, and now Saganook will finally make his way down. As we were trying to listen in, there's a lot of explicits. I'm surprised that they're not just going at it right in front of Dan, but I'm sure he's being the authority, and they're not going to try to get themselves in more trouble here. You know, Andrew, I know this is very far-fetched, but I would not be surprised if they call this game a wash. And Red just wins it all.
There's a
I know
chance.
It's very
because this is not going to get nicer.
So Nolan's down the runway. This might be just an automatic Red championship because I don't think, like I said, Purple's down to no bench players if everyone goes. And
Are they?
There's 3 and then 4 on the bench, so they'd only have 4 players. And I'm not sure the rules, but I think you have to have at least 1 sub. So now Swankler. Davis is now out. Swankler's now down here. Cermak's on the ice still. He was involved. McLean and Cermak now look to be heading towards the runway. As still looking for some sort of clarification. And McLean and Cermak are out of here. And so is Robertson. So at least 3 guys of green bench, 1 from purple. That doesn't seem fair at the moment.
No.
We have the names right. Nolan, for sure. Would it be DeMarsico, I think?
I mean, we have a way to pull this up.
I feel like this would be a lot easier if we can just, I don't mean to rat, but I feel like we have the names. And oh, hey, hold on. Saganook and Swankler, the former teammates jousting. And Swankler will get out of here. Voigt waiting. Konyan still looking for something. Was Voigt in the scrum? I still feel like we're missing a couple purple guys. I don't know. This seems a little justified.
Looks like it'll be 3-2.
There is 4 for green that went.
I only saw 3.
It was McLean, Robertson, and Cermak. And then only Nolan and Swankler for purple. So I'm not sure.
Unless they can only. There's 2 people on each bench, so maybe that's a.
That might be the rolling then. Just so that it's not a wash, I guess. I'm not sure how we continue this game, though.
I don't expect things to get easier from here.
We already saw Saginaw get cross-checked to the back of the head by Swankler before being sent off. So I'm sure Moore's just going to boil over. And Swankler is still down there. No, I'm sorry, that might be Nolan. Nolan and Swankler both in the runway, still barking.
Probably not good to bark at the commissioner.
So if purple advances, and I see Shimizi mix up with Kanyan. And now a little more, and here we go again. And Mauser mixed up. And now Simcoe. Why did Simcoe get sent?
Maybe it was not that he was sent. Maybe he just, needed to go to the locker room for something. We'll see if he comes back.
Well, that's not good for Green, as now they're down to 1 bench player. We hope Simcoe returns, but very interesting to see him head off. You wonder if he was sent up, and now Mauser, Whitford to whack the Kanyan.
Maybe sent to go get someone back that wasn't supposed to go.
Well, Simcoe's back.
He is back.
And with a green jersey. Interesting. Whose jersey?
Or are those socks? No, it's just New Jersey.
If there might be blood on a jersey, that might be another reason to get a new jersey.
Maybe.
We'll see if anyone collects it. Or it might be for Liam Murphy. The only one not technically in a green jersey.
That's true. Because now they will have players that don't need them.
Exactly. So we'll see if he'll take that jersey. But, man, it's been a wild couple of minutes here. And we're still tied up at 6. We still have another 12 and a half to go, and it's spot on the championship on the line. Kanyan shot. He'll send that high and wide.
2 very different semifinal games.
Yeah, to say the least. But 6-all, 12-15, 5 ejections, and 12 goals.
If we counted correctly, it would be 5 ejections.
Yes. We believe 3 from green, 2 from purple. Jack Nolan, Austin Swankler, Milan Cermak, Saxon Robertson, and Beck McLean. Shot from the point, glove stop Blackburn there on purple.
Blackburn's done a great job of showcasing that glove. One thing you also might want to be worried about is their locker rooms are connected right below us.
That's true. You wonder if there's some sort of guarding, I should say, down there. Who can get their stuff and get out, or it'll be back in the stands. Like I said, I feel this is not over. Referees can give all the warnings, the commission can give all the warning. I feel there's more. Whitford shot towards the net, stick save there. And now Murphy. Looks to go down low with it. Taken away by Mario Smith. And you can see both teams already here, Andrew, starting to get a little gassed. Trying to preserve energy. Shot from Shimizi goes high and wide as Beck McLean is standing at the door. So we might be getting another green friend back. Now Whitford coming in. Gets taken away by Voigt. Voigt picks it up. Has some room through center. Whitford will get off for Mauser. Voigt across. Shot and scored. DeMarsico finds it back door. And they'll take the lead 7-6.
McLean will get back on the ice. Ref having a conversation with the commissioner, well, co-commissioner.
Are they discussing with McLean coming back?
I guess that is the conversation.
Unless they're just going to make it 2 even across the board, but looks like Murphy will get a jersey. That's for sure.
Yeah, Murphy does get the jersey. McLean is on the ice.
All right, so he'll get to stay.
Might have went down for a non-ejection related reason and just went down at the wrong time.
Maybe. Or to just protect his teammates. That could be another thing. Is they're still not very happy with them, as Kanyan will take him into the wall and then have some not incidental contact from Simcoe. Saginaw for Simcoe, can't hold on. Here comes Shimizi. Shimizi with a break down the right wall. Shimizi looks for Voigt, settles, gets taken behind the net. Saganook all over him, chance in front. Simcoe there as here comes Green. Both Green defenders, Saganook and Mauser, trip each other up with a little help from Blackburn as Mauser will take his good old time to get reset. Forward from McLean, off sticks, out comes Hale, leaves it off for Smith. And now Purple, storming in. Smith, down the right wall. To the backhand, pushes it wide. Taken away by Simcoe. Forward for Whitford. Whitford breakaway shot. Save made by Hale. Also another rejection we forgot about. Cam Davis is out as well.
That is true.
So there was 4 Green players and 2 of Purple. Now it's 3 and 2.
Yeah.
Completely forgot who the main Green personnel was in
Yeah.
that moment. I don't know how we forgot. He's the one to open the scoring for him.
Yeah.
So officially, Davis, Robertson, and Cermak, and vice versa, Swinkler and Mold. Okay. Squared away. Mauser has Emmett McLean. McLean across for Whitford, traffic in front. Mauser loose, rebound still there. McLean settles it, and it won't go in with Voigt scrambling in the back of the cage. McLean.
No stick for Hale.
Across for Whitford. Up high, Murphy shot, glove save, Hale, as Robertson and DeMarsico exchange some pleasantries.
Hale saying he doesn't need his stick if you make the glove save like that.
Murphy is the one wearing Cermak's uniform, number 6. Looks like a buff goaltender with 2 jerseys on. Didn't take the one he had on previously on underneath. Here's Voigt. We'll pick it up as Green gets a couple fresh bodies onto the ice.
Green will have one more sub than Purple. Maybe that can be used correctly for their benefit.
Kanyan puts it on that little bit of some stick action, no call. McLean, Beck that is, will drive this in for Green. Crosses to Saganook. Saganook behind the net, rolls with it. Puts it up high for Simcoe, out of reach. Blackburn will come out to play. Forward for Simcoe. Simcoe driving it in. Gets around Voigt. Pad stop Hale. And now Voigt. Sends this one down for DeMarsico. DeMarsico puts it on. Gets it on the high side of Blackburn. Looks to be okay. And now Green the other way. It's Murphy. Dangles in. Murphy shot. Sends it high and wide. As that'll be out of play as we see one of the Green players into the bench, or in the stands, excuse me. I think that's Cam Davis.
I don't know.
But at least in the protection of his family, whoever it may be. So he will not get into any more scuffles tonight until maybe exiting the building.
Yeah.
Which is not our problem. Here's Cermak for McLean, or excuse me, Murphy for McLean. Simcoe in front, Dangle shot, rebound is there, under Voigt. And did he use his hand is the question, but he did keep it out. Where's the puck? It does come out. Referee says no penalty. As we'll get a stoppage under 6. Simcoe loses the draw to DeMarsico. Voigt will hold behind the net. Gives it off to DeMarsico. Meets Saganook in the wall. DeMarsico, head of steam. Fires it on net. Stopped by Blackburn. And will hold. 5.5 to go.
5.5, Green. They wanted the energy boost from that. Maybe just took a little long to realize what was going on. Energy died down right after. Because Green, they need to put their foot on the gas again.
Here's Murphy. Drives it in for McLean. Caught in the skates of DeMarsico as he'll step free. Drops it off to Kanyan. Purple only with 2 subs, Green with 3. Kanyan will settle in his own zone as tick, 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 the clock continues to roll. 1 goal game One bounce can change everything. 5 minutes, maybe more, to decide it. Saginaw holds across. Mauser in front. Whitford stopped by Hale. Dramatic pause. Stopped.
Getting over to stop it is Hale. Green's got the energy. Purple's running out of it.
.414. Won by Purple off the draw. Smith looks to take it along the wall. Whitford there. Couldn't get it off him, and now he'll drive it in himself. Smith dropped to Voigt. Over to Conyon. Conyon with the lane. Patch stop Blackburn. Emmett McLean picks it up. Takes it down the wall. Rolls on net. Stop. Hale covered up. 3:45 as we inch closer to 3-minute stoppage time.
3 minutes stoppage time. Hopefully will help Green get back in this game.
Mauser on the draw against DeMarco. Won by Green to the point to Simcoe. Simcoe shot. He scores! Simcoe! Hat-trick goal! And we're all knotted up at 7.
They didn't need stoppage time. They did it before that. 3:15 now. It's a brand new game. The game just started. It's only going to be 3 minutes long, though, but it just started.
Forget everything that's happened the last 43 minutes. Brand new game. Voigt carrying it in. Shot. Rolls behind the net. All whistles are a stoppage now from this point on. In front the shot. Stopped there by the block of Whitford. Rebound is there, and Marsico. He'll score. And Purple takes the lead right back with 2:40 to go.
Clock is not stopping.
Interesting. I don't think it's
We
supposed
have our
to
clock
roll.
stopped.
Yeah, Green's yelling clock. We're not getting the stoppage. Of course, like Andrew said, we stopped. They didn't. So Green just about 15 to 17 seconds have just clicked off when it should have been stopped. In front and scored. The captain, Mike DeMarsico. And Green's lead, or excuse me, Purple's lead is now up by 2. Clock now stop. Oh no, it's continuing to roll. Green still wants. Mauser's trying to yell for stoppage. They're not getting it, and I'm confused why. There's about more than 30 seconds now that have been chewed off. And it's continuing with the arguing, and they're still not going to stop it. This is wild. I feel Green's getting a little shafted here. Out comes Blackburn. Now he'll have to get back, and here comes Voigt with $1:30 to go. Voigt coming in backhand, and he scores. Ty Voigt with seemingly the dagger, and it's 10-7, and clock continues to roll.
You almost feel like the not stopping of the clock got to Green,
That killed him.
and it killed him. They were distracted, and they couldn't do anything about it.
That's not really their fault, though. Mauser shot, and he scores. Colton Mauser gets on. Green realizing they got to hurry to the line here. Because for some reason, like we said, the clock is not stopping. Simcoe's, they're trying. Now they're going to get it. So what took so long? Why does it take till 54 seconds to get it done? Mauser scores 10-8. And it's been close to a minute of just random running time. It's not going to matter as Conyon will fire this one in and pop the water bottle. It's 11-8. But still, if you're a Green player or fan, you probably feel slighted. Big time. Because 30 seconds to 45 seconds is huge. Especially with stoppages. Saginaw will poke it in. As he'll wrestle with Samizi, as he'll look to just eat it. And Voigt will pick it up, send it forward, turned over. Mauser trying to drive in, taken away by Smith, sent all the way down by DeMarsico, as they'll let it roll. 3 seconds and 2. And Purple has a date with Red next week for the Cranberry Cup finale as they take down Green 11-8. It'll be a 7 o'clock start time next Wednesday, August 14th. Red versus Purple, the 1 versus 2 seed. Red, the defending champions, look to hold their title. Purple, in their first ever championship appearance, let alone their first playoff experience. And we still will not know the status of Jack Nolan and Austin Swankler for next week.
Yeah, we will not know if they'll play next week, if they'll play next year even.
You wonder what will happen as well to Camden Davis, Milan Cermak, and the other ejection of Saxon Robertson. But you assume not good. But the last time these two teams played, Andrew, what happened?
Last time these two teams played, Purple came away with a score of 13-9. That was the time they moved into first place with that win. Red would be moved into last with that loss.
I also remember correctly, there was no Tomko that week.
I believe
there
so.
might have not been a Humphreys as well.
That was also the first week that all the Penn State kids showed up.
So some factors were definitely in for Purple during that stretch, but you also wonder here, Andrew, Swankler and Nolan don't go. Fink, Laubach, and Schoen and Dowiak, at least 2 of them are in.
Yeah, most likely.
That's deadly. That's going to cause some problems for Red. They were all here. They were all on the Purple bench witnessing it. So obviously it's uncertain. We don't know until obviously next Wednesday what will happen unless, Commissioner Myers or Morehouse say something. That'll be via the Instagram page as always, but it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. We did not think there's going to be this much drama before a championship game.
Yeah.
But, whew, what a week.
Yep.
I don't think anyone expected this whatsoever. I mean, who won, probably not surprising. What happened in those games, very surprising. But in the end, the toilet bowl winners is Team White. They will have the first overall selection in the 2025 GOAT League draft. Team Red takes down Team Black, and Team Purple takes down Team Green. It's Red, it's Purple. Next week, 7 o'clock for the Cranberry Cup finale. From our whole crew, Evan Smith, Andrew Keel. I'm Caden McCroy saying so long, and we'll see you next week for the Cranberry Cup finale, 7 o'clock.